Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Carolyn's Corner Live. We are so excited for our show tonight and so happy to have you all joining us on this beautiful Wednesday night. Well, it's nice here in Beeville, a little cool, but it's perfect weather. We are so excited about the show tonight. We have some great special guests, and I am looking forward to having a great time with all of our guests and with you as well. So before we get started, let me introduce you to someone you may already know. He's around me a lot. My awesome Mr. Co-host. Well, I call him Mr. Co-host. My awesome co-host, Paul Gallagher. Let me bring him on the screen. Hi,
Hola,
Paul.
hola, hola.
How are you? I see it's smoky over there. Are you barbecuing?
No.
Welcome, Paul. We're so excited about the show tonight. And I know you have a special surprise guest for us, too. We're going to get to that in just a minute. I'm excited.
Not tonight.
Oh, not tonight. That's okay. Maybe next week. Things happen. It's all right. It's all right. Last minute cancellations are very common. It's okay, Paul. But thank you, though. We're still going to have a lot of fun no matter what. I've got all the extra surprise guest stuff ready to go. So whenever she comes on, we will be ready to go. Thanks, Paul. Are you excited about tonight?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Whoops, my camera just fell. Sorry about that, guys.
Woo, you just went all wonky.
I know.
Jillian actually had to cancel due to having a massive migraine.
What is the deal with your guest and migraines?
I guess I caused so much of a big old headache to everybody. I mean, who knows?
I don't know about that, Paul, but I think somebody else might say, maybe you do. Our other guest tonight, what do we call him? I just call him Jerry. He's our expert.
Oh,
consultant. Yes, Jerry got a title. He's called our consultant. And it's true because he consults us to try to keep us on the straight and narrow, and it never works. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring our amazing friend and consultant all the way from, where's he in? North Carolina, Virginia, I forget.
North Carolina,
Mr. Jerry Bradley. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I think I'm just a jack of all trades and a master of none. That'll cover it all.
I thought that was my saying. My camera is getting wiggled around. I'm like, what's going on with my camera? I'm sorry. I'm trying to move away here.
Earthquake.
Jerry?
I'm like the only still one here.
I don't know what's going on. My camera.
I did mine on purpose, so we got.
Yeah, I know, right?
Here, I'll do mine too.
Don't say earthquake.
From Texas to North Carolina. Yeah.
Yes, North Carolina. That's it, North Carolina. I have the worst memory. I'm sorry, Jerry. Jerry, I'm so excited you joined us tonight. I'm looking forward to our show. Our special musical guest is very excited. He is ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, our musical guest tonight is singer-songwriter Mr. David K. And let me make sure I'm saying where he's from correctly because you know my memory.
He's from Kentucky.
He is from Gilbertsville, Kentucky. Gilbertsville, Kentucky. And first of all, before we bring him on, it feels like I'm way down here. Why are y'all way up there? I need to get a bigger, taller chair, or I need to be taller.
You're short. You're just very short.
So Gilbertsville, Kentucky is where our special guest is from. Sorry. His name is David K. He's got some great songs. Jerry's disappearing. Thank you, Mr. David K.
I'll join in.
Stop it. How are y'all doing that? My chair I think I need a new chair. Anyway, I'm so low and they're so high. What is up with that? Well, that just explains it. So, David is really excited. He is standing by with his guitar and he's going to play some songs live for us. And then we even have one that we're going to play that he recorded, a little video. So is everybody ready? Let me see who all is ready. If you're ready, say ready on the messages. Paul, you're all pixelated. What happened to your camera?
It's got to be my network. You know, the kids are on the network. They're watching YouTube. Crystal's watching.
Well, she should be watching us, right? So, folks, without further ado.
She sees me every day. She's like, eh.
Now, you know what? I want to tell you, we have another special guest tonight that's going to be coming on. Well, he's not coming on, but he's watching. And I want to make sure I'm saying his name right because I did not say it right. So, Tim, I said it was Schlesner, but it's Slazner.
Oh,
We're going to be playing one
Slays?
of his great songs in a little while, a little bit later. So I'm super
He's
excited about that too. And I
and
see
he
that
said
he's on
hello
here.
he's from Hideaway, Texas, apparently. He hides away in Texas.
He's
from
from
Hideaway.
Hideaway, Lindale, Texas. Up somewhere near Dallas area, I think. I'm not sure. But I'm so glad that he's watching. Welcome, Tim. I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited for everyone to hear your song for those of those that haven't heard it yet. So without further ado, guys, let me go ahead and bring David on and let him introduce himself. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, all the way from wherever he is, David Key. Hey, David.
Hey,
Hi there.
Hi,
it's
how are
all
you?
professional.
Pardon me?
I tell you what, if I was doing any better, I'd have to pay somebody $50 to rough me up.
Wow, $50?
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that? He would have
The
to
thing
pay
is, I
somebody
probably
$50
run across
to
people in
rough
my
him
life
up
that
if
could
he
do
was
it for
doing any
free.
better. He's got a great personality, great sense of humor. I just love it. I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So, David, tell the folks that are watching at home and abroad, don't talk about her, where you're from and what you do for a living.
Okay, well, I'm from Gilbertsville, Kentucky. In case y'all don't know where that is, it's about 20 minutes from Possum Trot, Kentucky.
From Possum Trot?
Possum
Trot, Kentucky. Yes, that's
Do the
about, I live
possums
about
really
20 minutes
trot?
from
Why does it
Possum
got a
Trot,
name like
Kentucky.
that?
Yeah, I live. Paducah's probably the closest city that anybody would know where it's at. Western Kentucky. I live about 2 minutes from Kentucky Lake Boat Ramp.
Okay,
And I
everybody
drive a
know where
truck
that
over the
is.
road. If you're looking behind me, you'll see that the truck stop that I'm parked in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I deliver a load of what is it that I have? Oh, Denny Moore beef stew. If anybody gets hungry, just come by truck. I got a whole truckload full
Ooh,
of Denny
Denny
Moore beef
Moore.
stew that I'm delivering in the first thing in the morning.
Really? You're delivering beef stew? That's so cool.
Yep.
I knew somebody must deliver that stuff. I actually like Denny Moore.
40,000 pounds worth of it.
Wow, that's a lot of stew. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So that's what you do for a living. So tell them where you go and what you do exactly, David. It's pretty interesting to me.
Oh gosh, I go everywhere, just wherever they send me, wherever they broker a load from.
I go everywhere.
Yeah, I picked this up down outside of Atlanta, Cartersville, Georgia, and man, I go to Texas, you name it, all over. Just wherever my dispatcher sends me a load to, whatever freight that they get that pays the best is where they send me.
Yeah, that is so awesome. I mean, really, you get to see a lot of places. I know you're busy. And tell them where you are at right now. I think this is awesome.
In Carlisle, Pennsylvania, at a truck stop, a Flying J truck stop parking lot.
Now, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. We are bringing a singer and songwriter all the way from a truck stop. I think that's so awesome, don't you, Paul? That just shows you we can bring people from anywhere, and I think it's awesome, David. I'm curious to see if anybody behind you is going to be like, what is he doing out
And that's what I'm about to say. He's about to put a show on for the people at Flying J. That's awesome.
Did you already tell them to
tune in? The only thing
in?
is they can't, luckily for them.
Darn. Well, you should have told them all, hey, I'm about to do a show. Make sure you tune in to Facebook Live.
So are you in a parking lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
have
love
everything set up in the sleeper of my truck. I've got the amp
awesome.
and the camera and the tripod and everything set up on my bunk where I sleep.
I think that is so awesome. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that is so awesome. So, David, why don't you tell everybody that's on tonight how long you've been songwriting, singing, writing songs, singing, and etc.
Oh, man. Well, I just started the whole songwriting thing a couple of years ago. I've never written a song to save my life. I've been playing guitar since I was a kid. When I was a little boy, when I was about 14, my dad bought a guitar from a friend of his at the phone company, and he tried to learn to play it, but he has no rhythm, and he couldn't learn to play it. And I don't know who put it there, but somehow or another the guitar wound up in my closet, and I would get grounded. I'd have to stay in my room, and so I wasn't allowed to watch TV or listen to the radio. So that was the only thing to do, was to get that guitar out and learn to play it. And after I had gone through the simple songs in there, Camptown Races and She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain and stuff like that, they were in those little songbooks that were already in the case. I asked my mom if she would buy me some more songbooks. I wanted to expand on my musical career at 14. And anyway, so she told me that if I did extra chores around the house for a month, that she would take me down and let me pick out whatever I wanted to. And so I had to do my regular chores, mow and weed eat and clean the gutters and all that stuff. But I had to do her work as well. I had to sweep and mop the kitchen.
Oh,
I had
wow.
to vacuum the house. I had to do the dishes. I had to do laundry and everything for a month. And she took me down there, and I remember as soon as I walked in the door, they were the music rack where they had the books. As the picture right away from an album that my dad had was John Denver's Greatest Hits, and I grabbed that one. And so the first real
So
song that I ever learned to play was Country Roads.
Oh my gosh, that's a great story. And I loved John Denver. I still do. I mean, when we were kids, we didn't have much, but somehow we had his album, and I don't know how we did. And I loved him.
Right.
I was a big fan. We were big fans of
Me
his. That's
too.
so cool. And I found out through talking to David before that David and I, poor guy, we were actually born the same year. That's crazy.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And look at him. He's still driving a truck and playing guitar. And oh, well, I'm barely moving. No, I'm just kidding. Well, David, I am so happy that you're here. He was the man. Yes. Sean just said
Well,
he
have a
was the
good
man.
Valentine's Day.
I did. I really did. We didn't do a lot. In fact, we worked on a video here at the house.
Right.
But my awesome husband Brett, he brought me flowers and candy and a beautiful card. So
That's
it was
great.
perfect. It was perfect. He said,
I
"I'm
got my
you're my
girlfriend something
Valentine's every
really-
day," and I was like, "Boy, you're trying to make
Yeah,
brownie
I got
points."
my girlfriend something really expensive. I bought her
What's
a gallon
that?
of gas.
Well, she should appreciate it. So Sean Dickey said he's a
Actually, I
driver
don't have a
himself.
girlfriend. Any single ladies out there, take note of that.
Well, all the single ladies.
All the
well,
single ladies.
Put your hands up. Okay, keep that in mind, guys. He does drive a truck. I mean, ladies, he does drive a truck. He can always drive where you are. You never know, right? He
That's
could
right.
ask his dispatcher, send me where Dave, where the ladies are.
Well,
So David, go ahead.
Now, I'm going to just kind of pick on David for a minute because I read in one of his posts that he rolled over to cuddle in his bed, but he forgot he was single and he rolled off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's good. That's really good, Jerry. So, do y'all have any questions for David before he gets started? We're going to spend a lot of time together tonight, as much as we can anyway. Paul, you have anything you want to ask David?
I'm ready to listen to music.
Yes. What about you, Jerry?
Let's go. Let's rock and roll.
All right. We are ready.
Let's do it
So,
to it.
David, the first song you told me you want to do is a song you wrote called Caribbean Style.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that song, how it came to be, and what inspired you to write it.
Well, when I was in the Navy, I was a photojournalist in the Navy. I got the opportunity to ride on a sailboat from Annapolis, Maryland to Bermuda. We spent 3 days in Bermuda, and then I got to we sailed up to Newport, Rhode Island, and then I wound up flying back to Norfolk. But even though I had already been on a ship, I was on an aircraft carrier, a helo carrier, the USS Guam, during the Navy time there. It just wasn't the same as being out there on a sailboat, and get blown along by the wind. And man, it captures your soul. It does something to you. And so I've always had this great respect and love of the sea. And, Jimmy Buffett was also a big influence in some of my music and my life. And so a lot of my music is styled after that. And, I don't know. I woke up one morning. It was like between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning, and this tune was stuck in my head and these words. And so I got up and I keep a pad of paper and a pencil by the bed, and I started writing this down before I would forget it. And so that's where I expanded. And the main, I guess, gist of this song. Another influence of mine that I've always loved. I love classic country music, and Merle Haggard has always been a big influence of mine. And I love the song that he does, "Big City Set Me Free." And I guess this is my islandy version of that song.
Nice.
I was about to say, because I see the shirt that you're wearing. Is that a Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah.
Yes, I got this down in Florida about 3 months ago when I was down there visiting my aunt for her birthday.
It's really cool. A guy from Gilbertsville, Kentucky is like Caribbean style. Everybody's
I'm originally
really
from West Palm
excited.
Beach, Florida, so that fits.
Yes, we're
All right,
super
y'all ready?
excited. We are ready when you are, David. Take it away, sir.
Well, I can't stand the city no more. I'm getting tired of this daily grind. I want to chuck it all in. I want to head out the door. I want to take an island packet and leave this all behind. Give me one good reason to stay here. One good reason to try. 'Cause if I have to take another minute of this, I'm gonna break right down and cry. I wanna head south on a beam reach, drink rum on a tropical isle. I wanna listen to some Jimmy Buffett. I wanna live in Caribbean style. I wanna anchor off of Jamaica, sit on the beach all day, maybe snorkel in the shallow water somewhere near Tobago. Okay, take back all that I've given. You can have my share of the pie. Don't want a job with a check, my boss a pain in the neck, suffocating in an office till the day that I die. Why? I want to head south on a beam reach, drink rum on a tropical isle. I want to listen to Jimmy Buffett. I want to live in Caribbean style. I want to sail with Jimmy Buffett, drink rum on a tropical isle. I want to listen to some reggae music. I want to live in Caribbean style. For a while, I want to live in that Caribbean style.
Ooh. Good job, David. I like that a lot.
Well, thank you.
And I know it's hard because you're outside and there's trucks driving by. You may want to turn it up a little bit more for us, David, if you possibly can. I love that song. Okay. It's so upbeat.
And it's funny. I do realize as he's singing the song, I'm seeing these trucks drive by in the back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder how many of these guys in the other trucks going, oh, well, there's his hobby because they can.
They're probably wondering, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So let me read some of the comments that we got while you were singing that. So right before you started, Sean said, "Let her rip, Tater Chip." That's Sean Dickey. I don't know if you know him, but he's one of the songwriters as well. Jerry said, of course, he's welcoming everyone. Thank you, Jerry. He said, "My new buddy from up in Lindale, Tyler area." And Sean is really interactive. I love it. He said, "Feeling so neat in that air ride seat." I love it. Let's see. So let's see. Hello from Leonard Fields. Hi, Leonard. Hello from Rocky Gap, Virginia. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And Sean also said, "Pretty cool. Saw those flashing lights and thought he's done. Got the police called on him." That's right. That's how we roll. This is live from anywhere. You never know where our singer-songwriters are going to come from, and I'm so excited. This is pretty exciting. I told David when we were making sure everything was working the other day, he had to move his truck, and I was on the phone still. So I told him, wow, that's the first time I've got to ride in a truck since I was a kid when my dad was a truck driver.
Yeah.
So it was just for a minute, but it was kind of cool. It was really neat. That was beautiful, David. I loved it. It was so neat. I like your upbeat attitude. Did you turn yourself up a little bit more, honey?
Do what now?
Did you turn everything up a little bit more for us?
Hang on.
Okay, just a little bit more. We want to make sure we can hear you real good. Everybody out there, hear him okay?
Okay, that better?
Yes. What do you think, Paul? Jerry?
Blow out the windows.
Now it's kind of
kind of muffled though now. Try it again. Say something.
Cover about.
That's because you're doing that. All right, that was awesome.
How about L is for the way you look at me. Oh,
yeah, it's a little muffled. It's causing it to be a little bit muddy. It's causing it to be a little bit muddy.
Okay, so back off.
Back off a tiny, like a hair. A hair of a fraction.
Okay, how about that now? That better?
That's good. Thank you. Thank you so much for everybody who's tuning in. I appreciate it. So are you ready to sing another song? So first of all, let me tell you real quick. Tim, he said that song felt like a cheeseburger in paradise. Yes, it did. Let me put those on the screen. It really did. It kind of reminded me of that song. That's awesome. So your next song you said is going to be, oh, I can't wait for this. Just Another Day in the Island. Tell us a little bit about that one.
No, the next one will be social distancing myself.
Oh, sorry. Social
I was,
distancing myself.
right after. Yeah, I right after the whole coronavirus thing came out, they had all these doctors and everything on TV, Dr. Fauci and the president and all these people, and they're trying to get everybody to do what I've been trying to do all my life, which is get away from everybody.
In your drug. Well, you accomplished it.
Yeah.
You accomplished it.
I wrote this song. It's called Social Distancing Myself.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be cute. I have not heard this yet.
Well, I've always been a loner, never did fit in the crowd. You could find me sitting in the corner while others are shouting loud. So if I pull out a port this morning, don't be surprised to see me go. It's just getting too crowded right here at home, so it's off to sea I go. And I burned 7 bridges plus the one I'm on just to get down to the sea. I'm just too much of a rambling man to be anything but free. I'm not ditching my obligations or putting my worries on a shelf. I'm not running away from my problems. I'm social distancing myself. There are a few simple pleasures in life. One of them is the sea. It's a place where I can get away from the world when the world is getting to me. There's too many people trying to run my life, and I know they all mean well. But sometimes I want to tell them at the top of my lungs that they can all go to hell. And I burned 7 bridges plus the one I'm on just to get down to the sea. I'm just too much of a rambling man to be anything but free. I'm not ditching my obligations or putting my worries on a shelf. I'm not running away from my problems. I'm social distancing myself. I'm not saying I'm antisocial. I still like to see my friends. I'm just anti-societal, and I will be to the end. And I burned 7 bridges plus the one I'm on just to get down to the sea. I'm just too much of a rambling man to be anything but free. I'm not ditching my obligations or putting my worries on a shelf. I'm not running away from my problems. I'm social distancing myself. I'm not running away from my problems. I'm social distancing myself.
All right. Great
Thank
job,
you very
David. I
much.
really like that. One of my favorite lines in that song was, I burned 7 bridges plus the one I'm on. I think that's so cool. The whole song has got really awesome lyrics. I really like it.
Oh, thank you.
I like
And
it
you
a
know
lot.
where that's a throwback to the Eagles' 7 Bridges Road. You know, when I was writing that song, I got to thinking, well, burn bridges to get here. Well, how many bridges? Well, I pick
Yes.
I can pick any number I want. You know,
7
I'm the
bridges.
songwriter. And if you listen to any of my music at all, you'll see throwbacks to other artists, to other songs, and
Yes.
and so that was I picked 7 from the 7 Bridges Road by the Eagles.
And I love 7 Bridges Road. It's a beautiful song.
Beautiful song.
I ask people to sing it, and very few people actually know it now. You know what I mean? Except unless you're my age or
Yeah.
older. That was a great job, David. You did a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Sean Dickey said, good job. So, ladies and gentlemen, show some love to David. He's got a few more songs for us Thank you so much. That was so nice. So your next song, I probably get this wrong too. I hope not.
It was the one you said before.
Yes, exactly. So I wanted you to tell me, you were telling me something about John Denver, about his name. Tell them about that, because I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. I can't remember what the father's name was. But their last name was Dutchendorf, and his dad's what was called Dutch. He was a pilot during the Cold War. Anyway, so along comes Henry John Dutchendorf, and he played with a group. Can't think of their name right now, but anyway, they said, that's a mouthful, that Dutchendorf thing. You need to shorten that, and so they just picked Denver, and so they picked John Denver, which is why I picked David Key. My original name when I was given at birth was Nathan Dukes, and I didn't think that anybody would want to hear songs about the Caribbean and the island by Nathan Dukes any more than I hear "Song of Mountains" by Henry Dutchendorf. But people love the songs of the mountains by John Denver. So
yes,
David, I did a survey. I asked a bunch of people what if you didn't know what my first name was, what would you think it was? By the way that I look and act, and I got David was the most common answer, followed by "Leave me the heck alone" and one restraining order that said to stay away from me or I'll have you arrested. Anyway,
why are you looking at me like that?
For island.
I don't know. What is the Spanish word for island?
Yes.
That is funny. So Billy is on here, our guest from last week, and he said Eagles, woohoo! Billy, thanks for joining us. Thank you to everyone that's joining us. We really do appreciate it. Make sure, folks, I've already said it over and over, but it's so important. Make sure you like, comment, and share, especially the share. It's very important because the more you share, the more people will get to come back every week. Because every week, good Lord willing, we're going to be featuring singers and songwriters, possibly authors. You never know who we're going to bring on the show. And these are people that you may not have heard of. So this gives them a chance to be heard. So it's really important that you tell all of your friends and family and get them to tune in. Okay. So now it's time for your third song. If you're ready, this song is Just Another Day in the Island. Tell them a little bit about that. You're running
okay, so I was staying just up on the other side of Louisville, Kentucky for a while. And I don't know if anybody else where y'all are from there in the winter. They get snow and ice and everything. And as it turned out, this particular Christmas day, it was 70 degrees and sunny. And we were out there on a field playing Frisbee and just having a good time. And my friend Rob said, it was talking about, hey, man, this is great. We're playing Frisbee, 70 degrees. And I said, only thing that could make that better be if we were down the islands on a nice white sandy beach somewhere, with a margarita in one hand. And you got to write the song about that. So I did,
and you're making me thirsty too. Man, so take it away when you're ready. This one is called, let me make sure.
All right, so this is Just Another Day in the Islands. Okay, now hold on a minute. Before we get started, I need some help from the audience out there, from everybody that's watching. All right, when I get to the point where we're talking about lobster barbecue, everybody has to go, you got to go like this, like a lobster. Okay?
Like this? Okay, everybody ready? Get your hands ready, guys. I know
that'll be in the second verse. Be about the middle. Yeah, be about the middle of the second verse. Okay, so.
Okay, we're ready.
I threw an orange disc across the snow white sand. Got a margarita resting in my other hand. I look up the beach and I'm happy to see bikini-clad beauty smiling back at me. I've got my island packet anchored in the bay, watching seagulls floating off the point of the quay, drifting to the waves, crashing to the shore. Who could want for anything more? Oh, I know there's people out working real hard somewhere. They're paying off a mortgage and thinking that life is grand. But I'll take a wedge of lime and 3 shakes of salt to sprinkle into my hand. I ain't got no worries, it's just another day in the island. Well, there's a raft up forming in another bay, over the hill about a mile away. Guess I'll sail on over for an hour or two, enjoy myself a lobster barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Then I look up from my desk, my boss is snarling at me as I snap into reality. I look over the clock, it's only 9:30, and I wish I could leave this world far behind. Oh, I know there's people out playing real hard somewhere. They're throwing an orange disc across the snow white sand. They're taking a wedge of lime and 3 shakes of salt to sprinkle into their hand. They ain't got no worries, it's just another day in the island. And one of these days I'll be playing on a beach somewhere. I'll throw me an orange disc across the snow white sand. I'll take me a wedge of lime and 3 shakes of salt to sprinkle into my hand. I won't have no worries, cause it's just another day in the island. Oh, and one of these days I'll do more than dream of just another day in the island.
Yes.
That's almost like I could picture all of us sitting around a campfire on the beach and just hearing this music.
I know
Thank you.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
You
Well,
know, the whole time of my life I've been listening to music. You know, some of the music that has inspired me the most are songs that tell a story, that paint a picture in your mind.
Yes.
And that's what I aspire to do when I write a song, is to convey you from your mundane life to a better place.
Absolutely. And, you know, we live an hour from Corpus Christi, so there's a beach there.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So I was just, for real, I was thinking, gosh, it'd be nice to be on a beach hanging out with friends. And, you know, we're all going to have to do that one day. Wouldn't that be amazing? Have a big beach party. And
I like Carolyn.
What's
Carolyn,
that?
You know, it'd be amazing.
What's that?
If we all had the time to actually do it.
I know. It's hard. It's really hard to make time. It is hard. I like the 3 shakes of salt. It's very specific. I like that. Jerry, what do you got to say? We get some really nice comments.
I like the crab thing.
I know. That's very cute. That's very
cute.
And
you know what's so funny is that everybody forgot to do it except for me.
I know. And then you prompted us, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
And y'all practiced. I didn't.
Hey, I was saying hello to Kimmy and saying, "Sing it, David." I was working.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jerry. So, what did you think about that song? It's got a nice feel to it. I really liked it. Are you planning on recording that one, David?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I was going to record that song next. That was going to be the one that I was going to record.
Right.
I did. I do these demos in here in my truck, just like this, to send to my record producer, and I did that one and others, because I was kind of second to myself as which one should I record next, you know. Meanwhile, I had written this other song that you're going to play later, and I made a beta test of it. I've got a couple friends of mine that I when I come up with a new song that I've just written, I send it to them and say, hey, you know, is this song worth messing with, you know? So I made a copy of that and I sent it to them. I thought I had erased it off of my phone. So when I sent the 3 songs to my record producer, he comes back with that song, and I'm like, I didn't send him that song, did I? And I went back and scrolled through, and I sent it to him by accident. And he said, no, that one 100%. That one needs to be, and that was Hurts Like Hell, which you're going to be playing later. And we're going to be releasing that in the spring as soon as we finish the music video.
That's awesome, David. And I know I am especially. I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and it happens when it's time for it to happen. So it was probably no accident at all, David, that happened. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited for you. I really am. So
thank you.
Jared, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No. I went through some of David's Facebook, and I will say, even though he's doing the Caribbean thing right now, he's got some pretty solid country going on.
I agree.
I
agree.
A little bluegrass in there too.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like the way you have such a wide variety of sounds going on.
Oh, thank you.
Right. And you're welcome. And I love all music. We really do. I know all of us do. I speaking for myself, I love all music. My heart is in country though, right?
Yes,
I don't know.
Absolutely.
That's what I grew up on. But I love folk music too, like John Denver. To me, that's folk. I guess that's classified as folk. But now that's not even folk anymore. That would be considered country now. You know what I mean? So it's completely different than it used to be. So I love that song you just did. I've loved all of them so far. So ladies and gentlemen, let me read some of the comments. So Tim said his dad lives down in Rockport from October to April every year. Loves the Texas coast. Yes, so do I. But you know what's weird? I lived there for so long. I ran the big fishing pier on the beach down there, and Bob Hall Pier for 15 years. My kids grew up on there. My ex-husband's family, he owned that. And it's funny, it's like I didn't even want to go to the beach because we were at the pier all the time. But, now I'm like, okay, it's been long enough. I'd like to go to the beach. It's really crazy how you're around it all the time. It's not as big of a deal until you're not around it. So, but I'm excited to let everybody hear this next song, David. He's got a great song that he did get recorded. And I sent him a message and said, is that you singing it or someone else? And he goes, why? Is it okay? Or something like that. And I said, no, it's really good. So I made you a little video, and I was going to make it all, go all out, David. And I said, you know what? It's taking me too long because I am definitely not a producer. So I just put a picture with the name and the song title.
That's fine. Yeah.
She is not a computer person at all.
I'm learning.
I'm not either.
I heard Paul had to help you.
He did.
My idea
yesterday,
of being computer literate is being able to spell it and use it in a sentence.
Yes.
My wife went over and actually helped. And then I went over there after work. I showed up at her house. I'm looking at the stuff that she's doing, and she's like, yeah, and she's all proud of herself. And nothing.
I was pretty proud.
And she did all this stuff. I said, oh, now you see, and this is where I put my foot in my mouth. I'm like, oh, I could have done that 10 minutes on PowerPoint.
Yeah. So now next time I'm going to say, hey, Paul, here. Well, that was our intro video. I think it looks good now. I really do. Yeah, I think it looks okay. And Sarah said, you are good. Sarah just said, you are good. Sarah is one of our loyal listeners and viewers. We've got so many great people supporting us, David. And once you're like, to me, as far as I'm concerned, just like Jerry, everyone that's been on, Billy last week, you're like part of the family now. Carolyn's Corner crew is what I call it. And so you're always going to be in our hearts after you've been on this show for real, because it takes it means a lot for you to come onto this show. It means a lot. And you are only the second musical guest, and I know it's just going to grow from here. We're just going to keep bringing those people on. They're going to be getting better and better and more and more and more of an audience. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, for any of y'all that missed some of this or need to go back and watch it, we are streaming live right now to Facebook and to YouTube. Please tell everyone. YouTube. You too can use YouTube. So make sure you share it, please, ladies and gentlemen. It's so, so important. I thank you for everyone. Oh, Commissioner Christopher Linney is watching. Hey, how are you doing? Thank y'all so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. So, David, I think I'm ready to play that video. Are you ready for me to play that video?
Hold on. All right, let me calm down.
Oh, I got so excited. I'm sorry, Paul. I got so excited.
And you just go so fast.
I know.
And yeah. See, we have a radio show that we do. See, this is what she does. We have a radio show on Monday that we do, and I'm going to make her a shirt, and I'm going to call her. Her new name is Interrupticus. She interrupts every single time I'm trying to say something. Oh yeah, by the way. Oh yeah, and then she starts talking like, "Oh my Lord, are you kidding me?" And then I forget what I'm going to say. Just like right now, I'm going to rant, and I'm like, "What was I going to ask?" I know what I was going to ask. All right, this is what I was going to ask.
Married for 16 years, so I'm used to that.
Yeah.
So
I've been married 4 times. So.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so
Was it because you kept interrupting her or what?
no, they kept interrupting me. It's like, look at me, look at me.
I know. Go ahead. I'm not going to say nothing.
Are you sure?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
That was a test. That was a test. So anyway,
she's the boss, so she can do what she wants.
Exactly. That's
funny.
So whenever do you do gigs?
Well, at this moment, I don't. I'm working to get to that point. I have done gigs in the past. I'm only 2 hours from Nashville, so I've driven down to Nashville a couple of times. I played at the Commodore Theater Seasons. I got invited to play at Tootsie's. That was a real honor to be in the back room playing at Tootsie's, where the greats of country music, Willie Nelson, Kitty Wells, Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn, those people hung out there in that back room. When they weren't on stage at the Grand Ole Opry. It's right behind the old Ryman Auditorium. And I got invited to go there and play 3 songs at Tootsie's. And man, what an emotional thing that was for me. But I want to get there when the truck driving thing is done. I'm going to give this 2 years and save up enough money so that I can pay cash for a house and I don't have a house payment. Then I'm going to start booking some gigs and doing some playing.
If you get a chance,
awesome.
Go to the Bluebird, man.
Yes, Bluebird's on my bucket list. Right before the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh my gosh. Now, David, when you go on the Grand Ole Opry or the Bluebird, make sure you say, I want to shout out to Carolyn's Corner, because I will probably fall over. Carolyn's Corner in Beeville, Texas.
She'll go to Tennessee to the Bluebird Cafe, buy one of those $15 bologna sandwiches. I don't know how much they are. Big bologna sandwiches, just so she can hear you shout out to Carolyn's Corner.
I might. We might make a road trip.
The thing is, you don't know when you're going to play. The way the Bluebird is set up,
it's a waiting list.
The open mic is like on Monday night, and you call in at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and you have to be like one of the first 50 people to call in to get into the number. It's like trying to win something on a radio, a game show on a radio station, and that's all that gets in. And so you've got 50,000 people in Nashville all trying to call this number at once at 2:00 to get in on the thing. So getting in there is kind of tricky, and if you do get in, you won't know it till the last minute.
So you have to be there on standby the whole day, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow. But that would be such a cool experience. They say that's the place to go.
That'd be awesome.
For singer-songwriters. So, Jerry or Paul, do y'all have anything you want to add before we play the video? I'm not that rushed.
Now you ask?
Yes.
Now you ask?
Let me see. Tim says Bluebird is definitely on my bucket list. Just got to watch music. Hopefully a Nashville trip this summer for a week. Would love to do Tin Pan South Songwriters Festival sometime too. Let me put that on the screen.
Yeah, I'd like to do some songwriters festivals.
That would be so cool, right? Because you get to meet fellow songwriters from all over, I'm sure.
Sure.
Tim, that would be great.
They have one in Key West that I'd like to go to.
That would be cool. I've never done anything like that. Of course, my issue is always I don't play live music, so it makes it kind of hard for me.
Hey,
but
I got the opportunity to go to the Possum Holler when the Possum Holler was still around. George Jones used to own that.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm trying to remember what happened. Did it catch on fire? Something. Oh no, it was a water main break, and the Possum Holler was kind of downstairs in the basement, and it just kind of destroyed it. They decided not to open it again. But George Jones happened to make a guest appearance when I was there and popped in and took over the stage. And he kept,
oh my God.
And let me tell you, he had some not so nice things to say about Tammy.
No.
Wow. Well, I put it up on the board. Do you see what Tim said? He said Mile Zero Fest in Key West is a good one. And then Sean said was hoping to make it to Nashville for the Josie Music Awards, but not sure we'll make it this year.
I was so waiting for you to say to the Hussy.
I almost did. You don't even know because
I do know.
I'm always trying to learn how to speak Spanish. Oh my R's. Paul knows I can't do it. That's so funny. I almost did.
As soon as I saw that word and you're starting to read it, I'm like, here it goes. She's gonna say Hussy.
Yes. I almost did, Paul. You know me so well. So anything else y'all would like to add, David? You want to add
What are
anything
we
else?
playing?
Pardon me?
What is the video?
The video?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a music video of the song "Hurts Like Hell" of David's.
Okay.
And it's a song that he had.
Okay, I'll go ahead and set this.
Yes, go ahead.
I'll go ahead and
Please.
set this song up. So I've always been, I like a broad range of music. I like big band. I like swing. I like, the crooners, Sinatra and Tony Bennett and stuff like that, Perry Como. I like classic rock. I like 50s, 60s rock and roll and everything. And one of the bands that I kind of liked, Pink Floyd. I love the bluesy stuff. And I was driving down the road one day. I was listening to the song Comfortably Numb, and I was thinking about that. I dwell on that, and the whole gist of the song is that it says there's no pain we are receiving. You just get to the point that you hurt so much that you just become numb to the pain, and you don't feel the pain anymore. You're just numb over it. But what happens until then? You hurt like hell. So that's where I got the inspiration for this song, Hurts Like Hell.
Yeah, I actually really like this song. I listened to it a lot when I was doing this video. I do like it. This is you doing the vocals, right, David?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. I think it sounds so good. I really do. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. This is his debut, well, at least on Carolyn's Corner Live, of his song Hurts Like Hell by our guest, Mr. David Key. Here we go.
People ask me how I'm doing, and I say that I'm just fine. They don't know what's going on, they can't read between the lines. Oh, I could see it coming, I saw the writing on the wall. The sign that she was sending me said I was headed for a fall. Between the sea and the sun and the coke and rum, I haven't got to a place where I'm comfortably numb. And sometimes I want to scream and yell. Fact is that my heart hurts like hell. Didn't mean to be a loser in the game of life and love. I guess it's just my destiny was written in the stars above. So I ran off to the island with a bottle in my hand, looking for consolation in a liquid promised land. Between the sea and the sun and the coke and rum, I haven't got to a place where I'm comfortably numb. And sometimes I want to scream and yell. Fact is that my heart hurts like hell. Rum can't drown her memory, the sea can't wash away the pain. Smoke is fire on the horizon, and I'm hurting once again. Between the sea and the sun and the coke and rum, I haven't got to a place where I'm comfortably numb. And sometimes I want to scream and yell. Fact is that my heart hurts like hell. Fact is that my heart, said the fact is that my heart, oh, the fact is that my heart hurts like hell.
Wow. I really
I was
like
like,
that song.
what? Like, what was going on with the whole? I was like, what happened?
What do you mean? What happened? Did I turn
No,
my head?
after the video, it just stayed on and
Yeah.
on.
Well,
I was like,
I
what's
thought it
going
would.
on?
I'm learning. I thought it would automatically go back to us, but I had to click the button. I'm sorry, y'all. David, that was awesome. That was so awesome. Thank you so much. I really like the way you sing that song. I love that song. It's so great.
Thank you for playing
Let me
it.
go back to the comments. Oh, you're more than welcome. It's my pleasure. So Kyle Davis commented. He said, "Good song and good show." Thank you so much, Kyle. Hopefully you'll be on here very soon. And speaking of being on here, we have a very special guest on here as well. I just heard Cherise Carver is on here. Hi, Cherise. Welcome. Thanks so much for coming on. She joined us on our radio show last week, or Monday. I'm sorry, it was this week. Ugh. And we love doing that show. The issue we kept having is they kept knocking us off because of copyright infringements when we have rights to play music on there. So I was a little frustrated. Cherise, I'm so glad you made it over here. It's just going to keep happening. The Facebook just does not like it, I guess, when we play anyone's music. And I can see that. But I said, hey, we have the rights through the radio station. But oh, well. Cherise, I'm so glad you're here. I wonder if you got a chance to hear David's song. I really like it. Hurts Like Hell. It's a good title, too, David.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a really good title. And I love the way you sang it. So is anybody out there watching you going, what are you doing out here? There's a band behind you. Be careful.
Yeah,
don't get abducted. Don't get picked up by somebody.
I was wondering, you singing this song?
Just when I want a man in a Hawaiian shirt singing who can play guitar and sing, I'm taking him home.
You know what's really cool about that song? I was listening to it outside of my audio booth. I was talking to my wife, and I heard the music going, and then all of a sudden I heard that music, that island, that in the background.
Steel drum.
There you go.
So cool.
Steel drum.
Steel drum.
Yes.
Everybody knows I'm not a musical person. I mean, I love listening to music, but as far as like all the technicalities, and I don't know any of that stuff.
But I'm glad that you liked it. What about you, Jerry? What was your thought? What were your thoughts on that song? What are your thoughts on that song, I should say?
Oh, it was a lot. I'm sorry, I've been singing too much today. It was. I told you I had work to do earlier. So,
yes.
It was really nice. I liked it. I liked the vibe of it. I liked the words of it. The only thing that was kind of throwing me off just a little bit. It was kind of a sad song with upbeat.
Yeah.
With upbeat, you know
what? That's
I don't want to dance. I don't want to be sad. Come on.
It's like you don't know how to feel. You're just like, I want to. No, I need to sing. No,
I mean, I'm a guy. Okay, guys are either happy or we're sad. We don't got a whole lot of in between.
We don't have in between.
No,
You know what? That's
the top half is crying, the bottom half is trying to dance.
Yes.
And Cherise spoke up. She said, what a great song, David. I think she said, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, she said I did. Great job. I asked if she heard it. Thank you, Cherise.
Yeah. I don't know if you know who Cherise Carver is, but she could sing the phone book and make it sound good. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, she's my idol. It's like, oh my gosh.
That's so awesome. Yeah, we're
Red
blessed
Dirt Country. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's amazing. So Tim said, enjoyed the song, David. You've got a cool beach vibe going on. That's so sweet of you, Tim. Thank you so much.
And where are you at currently? Like right now, where are you at?
Yes, tell everybody where you're at for those that are just tuning in.
Okay, well, I'm in my truck, which is a 2017 Kenworth T680 semi tractor with a 53-foot trailer with I have 40. Well, I'm right at 41,000 pounds of Denny Moore beef.
Talk about detail.
I'm delivering in the morning, but I'm in a parking lot, a truck stop parking lot, Flying J parking lot in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
That is so awesome.
Now imagine this. You're in Pennsylvania right now, and you turn around and you see this guy in a Hawaiian shirt talking into a microphone in his truck and playing a guitar. Oh, I know that was a video, but playing a guitar. Can you just see that? I mean,
that's so cool.
Is it cold there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I can't believe no one's stopping and like filming you. I want to put a shout out to anybody that happens to be at that Flying J truck stop.
Yeah.
If you're there and you see
They're
David Keaton playing his song,
think I'm nuts.
I know, that's why I'm saying if you're there and you see a guy in a Hawaiian shirt playing guitar with a mic stand singing. That's our guest, David Key. Make sure you give him a shout out and tell us on Facebook, hey, I was at that truck stop on Wednesday night.
We're going to start seeing people behind him start gathering and start looking into the camera. And they're going to be
I'm
like,
waiting. I'm waiting. I can't believe we haven't seen that yet because you're standing outside your truck. Well, obviously, there's another truck. They're still coming back to abduct you, David. You should have faced the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey,
I mean, that's.
I'm dressed to deliver Denny Moore's. He's dressed for a Mai Tai or a margarita.
Oh, I love it. That sounds good. I haven't had a margarita in forever. That just sounds delicious. Yum, 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 yum. Gosh, I really do like that song. Let me see. She said, y'all, Cherise said we were hilarious. Oh, we barely getting started yet. Cherise.
Oh, yeah. We're just starting to get revved up.
Yeah. You know that saying, you ain't seen nothing yet. Baby,
Hey,
you just ain't.
And just kind of let you know kind of what's going on. It's Charles, my hiking partner.
Oh, yes.
Said he might be coming on with us
tonight.
Yes.
That'd be great. If he does, just let me know. You can bring him in. Bring him on.
That guy's he's a character. So
if he's coming on, then I get to kind of maybe talk to him a little bit on the side about
because Jerry has some important questions, I bet.
Yeah. Like, at 16 hours, we need to cut this. All right.
Oh my gosh.
That's
so
my bet
David,
was
in case
16
you didn't
hours.
know, Paul, our good friend Paul, he is going on a hiking adventure and he's never been hiking, and he is an author, a great guy, but he is not much of an outdoorsman. So last week, I believe it was, we started taking bets about how long he was going to last out there because he's supposed to be there like 4 days. So literally, we got a pot going with his wife to see how many hours he's going to last. So Cherise says she got a drink. I got tea, Cherise. I was thinking that. I was like, man, I need a margarita, a nice. We need to start doing that, like making our social hour for anybody who wants to do that.
Well, I think am quite the outdoorsman. I enjoy being outdoors. I have a Jeep, and I like riding around in the woods and camping and stuff like that. It's boats that, it took me a while getting used to. As a matter of fact, it's a wonder that I like boats to begin with, considering what happened to me the first time that I was on a boat. I was really young. This was down in Florida. I got in the boat, and it started pitching and rocking violently, and I was only like 6-7 years old. I was scared to death. I was screaming for my life. Luckily for me, the lady from Walmart came out and unplugged it.
That's funny, David. You literally had me. I was like, what? So
that's the perfect setup. That's
I love it.
It's like
David,
setting you up for this horror story, and then you just...
David, it may be a little inappropriate, but I thought it was hilarious.
He's going to need a margarita before this is all over with.
Yeah.
The water thing you told me about, the type of water you were hauling.
Oh yeah, This program is being sponsored tonight by Viagra Water. Oh no, wait a minute, that's Niagara Water. Oh boy, what a difference a liter can make. This show is also being sponsored tonight by Vacuum World. That's right, Vacuum World, where the products we sell really suck, and by Fruit of the Loom panties. We're the greatest thing in the world, but we're right up there close to it.
I love it, David. You got such a great personality. So Cherise said, are y'all doing this on Zoom, feeding, or to Facebook? No, actually, we are using a program called Restream. So it's not Zoom. I don't know why I didn't use Zoom because everybody uses Zoom, but I'm using Restream. And we are streaming live to Facebook and to YouTube at the same time. So Cherise was asking us, and
no, Cherise, the reason Carolyn uses this is if we act up, she can put us back in the backstage with the click of the button. We disappear, and then we're in the backstage. So
what's funny is what I love is y'all don't have a button to put me backstage.
No,
but I can put y'all backstage. Oh, you better behave yourself, mister.
I got a Viagra joke for you.
Oh, good.
An original, by the way.
Oh, an original. Okay, I'm scared. I'm scared yet intrigued. Go.
Yes, I was, because it was the other night. My wife and I, we were kind of, it's been a while, and we were getting a little frisky, and I decided, I'm going to get myself up, and I'm going to grab me my Viagra, and this is going to be a good night. But, we were already kind of frisky, and I didn't have my glasses on. I went and got my medicine, and that's got a V on it. Ooh, okay. I popped a pill, went back in. It was Valium, not Viagra. But anyway, I had a really good night's sleep.
I had a very mad wife, I bet you. I bet your wife was like, "That's not funny. That was not funny."
Yeah, if it was true, it probably would. But
that is so funny. I like that. That's real good, Jerry.
I got them mixed up, but I slept well. I did.
Yeah, I bet you did. Oh my gosh. So Cherise said that Jerry is trouble, LOL. I agree with you. And he's just now beginning to open up and show us his true colors.
Yeah. Because a lot of times he just sits back. He just kind of like, okay, let's see what this is all about. And and we haven't had Uncle Bob on here yet. So, well.
I know. I have a feeling that Uncle Bob will probably come on later. Don't you think?
Yeah, he might. He might.
TMI, but funny.
Are we gonna get to listen to a case of coronavirus tonight, or is that
absolutely? I'm glad you asked, because let me.
That's
the last one we do.
Yes.
Yeah. Whenever I went to, I went at my secret job. I went to, I was down in Raymondville, and I was talking about the show that we're gonna have tonight, and talking about the coronavirus song and stuff like that. So I'm kind of hoping they're able to join and listen to it as well.
Yes, absolutely. Cool. Go ahead, David. What were you going to say?
I was just agreeing. Yeah.
Well, I saw that this has been
an extra song, or
this has been played. Well, no, I was just going to bring up. Okay, now, you might be doing another song, and that's great. But the coronavirus has been played at over 353 stations. Radio stations. I didn't know
that, David.
Wow.
You didn't tell me you were a superstar. Yeah. What the heck?
I didn't know I was a superstar.
I would have asked for your autograph. Are you holding out on us? You didn't tell us? Y'all, so this song is very popular. It's a really cute song.
I did stock car racing for a little while. I have an adrenaline rush complex. I like a good. I'm an adrenaline junkie, and I was into circle track racing for a little while. And I had just this street stock dirt car. It was broke down all the time. I didn't have enough time to fix it and everything. And I've been having a really bad night out there at the racetrack. My car wasn't running right, and everything. And I was having to work on it. I was hot. You got to wear those fireproof suits. And our pit crew or anything, because I had everything on my own car. And man, I was having a really bad night. And these two little kids, like one was like 8 and one was 10, walked up to me and said, "Mister, can we have your autograph?" And that they want the driver's autographs, in their book. And I mean, that just made all my troubles go away. And I thought that was just the coolest thing ever to be able to sign somebody's autograph.
That is so cool.
It's funny how something so small, and to them it's so big, but like for you it's so small, it can make you feel so full of enjoyment. It's crazy, because when I was doing doing magic shows for a long time, and I did magic because it made people smile, it made people happy, and that's one of the main reasons that I got into it. And everybody like, "Oh, you get paid a lot of money." Like, no, I don't care if I get money at all. I just like seeing the people smile. I mean, that's all I cared about, and seeing them laugh and just have fun. And that's why when we're doing this show,
you do magic.
See,
he does magic, and Carolyn used to date a clown.
Magic as well. I can make donuts disappear like that.
Yeah, I'm good at that too. My wife told me I had to stop doing it though. She said that magic trick's getting old because it's going right to your stomach.
That is funny. So Sean says race in 45 minutes and work on it 4 days. Been there, done that, David. Great story. Yeah, that's crazy. Hold on, let me get back on here.
I couldn't imagine doing a race car. It scares me going 100 miles per hour on the highway, and I can't imagine driving that fast, and that's one of the things about NASCAR. I cannot watch it, because to me the only, and I hate to say this because it sounds so morbid, the only exciting part for NASCAR is when they wreck, and I don't like
absolutely
because it's like when they say, "Oh, look, another right turn. Oh, look, they're making another right turn. Oh, it's another right turn."
I know, but a lot of people are real, especially in Texas.
Oh,
We have a lot of big fans.
huge following, and I've watched it a few times. My one of my ex-wives actually was real big into NASCAR. She got me into watching it. I don't watch it anymore, but when I was, and she would be like, "Oh yeah, this driver did," and she knew all the stats, all the details, and I'm like, it's like watching football. Everybody, like the guys who are into football, they know stats. Oh, how many how many touchdowns that they made. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Left turns.
Thank you.
I'm in opposite world today.
I didn't even think about it when you were saying that. I was like, oh yeah.
How dare I say they went right? So is the steering wheel only made one way?
Carolyn's going to get some hate mail from NASCAR fans.
I love it. So, my husband just commented from the living room, folks. Did it. He said, we have the Texas Mile here in March and October, and I still haven't been, but he's been a couple of times. It's pretty big out here. They have it on the old airfield.
Well, the Texas Mile is completely different than the NASCAR because Texas Mile is like, oh, look, they're going straight.
They're going straight quarter mile, I believe it is, and fast. Like
yes, they actually bring cars to this event here in Beeville, which is really strange. They bring cars from all over the country.
Yeah,
they bring them to run this little quarter mile thing, and they run them like at 200 and something miles an hour, and it's not just stock cars. It's like they bring BMWs. I think someone even had a Nissan out there, a little tiny Nissan that they souped up the engine in that they were trying to run that. And anybody can do it. They pay a certain amount of money.
You just put 2 extra squirrels in the cage.
There you go. You put 2 extra squirrels in the cage.
Yes, absolutely. So real quick, I want to do a real quick shout out. My daughter Chelsea is on here. I believe she was a minute ago. Hi, Chelsea. I hope you're doing good, baby. Welcome to everyone that's tuning in tonight. I hope you're having a good time. We're just getting revved up, honestly. So, David, we've been talking too about David's other song called The Coronavirus. Let me pull that up real quick and show you what it looks like on Facebook.
So I have a question about this coronavirus song.
Yes. Go
so
ahead.
What's it based? What's the song based on?
You're silly.
You'll see. Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
A case of coronavirus and a twist of lime.
And a twist of lime. Don't forget the twist of lime.
Disease.
I love it. So that is what the YouTube video looks like, right, David? That's where that came from. That's the YouTube video cover.
Yes, it is.
So if y'all go on there and type in David Key, and you can find that song along with any. Do you have any other songs posted on there right now, or just that one? That's your release.
Just that. I've got some ones that I recorded like in my bedroom. Nothing professionally. I've got a channel on there, and there's some stuff that I recorded. Like I said, just in my bedroom with just this setup right here, but nothing professionally. That one and the one that you played, that Hurts Like Hell, which hasn't even been released yet, by the way. So y'all
has now.
First time here tonight on Carolyn's Corner. So you
yes, Carolyn's Corner Live. We heard it here first.
Yeah, you get head of the line.
Y'all heard it here first. So I am excited to hear this next song, David. The Corona. Tell them the whole title again, because I don't want to mess up.
Okay, well, here's how this all came about. So I was in the shop one day, and I was, this is right after the coronavirus came out. This is like in March. It's been out for 2-3 months now, and everything. And I was listening to the radio. They had the radio going and blaring in one ear, and they're coronavirus. And so, and then I heard these 2 guys standing next to me, and they were talking, and one of them mentioned something about his mom contracting Lyme disease. And the first thing that struck me kind of odd was the fact that you have to sign a contract to get diseases these days. But I'm not a medical lawyer, so that sounds like something the government would come up with anyway, that you got to sign a contract to get a disease, and they would probably fine you for it if you didn't. But anyway, so I got to thinking. My mind works, kind of convoluted sometimes. And so I walked up to my buddy Derek, and I said, "Hey, Derek, you know what goes good with the case of coronavirus?" He said, "What?" I said, "A twist of Lyme disease." He said, "That's really funny. You should put that in a song." So I did. Well, she told me we were done. She wanted nothing more to do with me. Said she was tired of my honky tonk and said it to be free. So you can find me here each evening, somewhere about closing time, sucking down cold Coronas, and I like it with a twist of lime. I don't want to face the world when I'm feeling well, knowing that woman told me to go to hell. So waitress, bring another round, I'm begging of you, please. I got a case of coronavirus with a twist of Lyme disease. Well, I like this drinking atmosphere, it really suits my style. All these pretty girls in here really make me go hog wild. And there's lots of country music to help squeeze my mind, and I'll drown it in Corona, and I like it with a twist of lime. I don't want to face the world when I'm feeling well, knowing that woman told me to go to hell. So waitress, bring another round, I'm begging of you, please. I got a case of coronavirus with a twist of Lyme disease. I don't need to see the doctor, I don't need to fix my brain, 'cause the medicine I'm taking can surely ease the pain. So waitress, bring another round, I'm begging on my knees. I got a case of coronavirus with a twist of Lyme disease. I got a case of that coronavirus with a twist of Lyme disease. Woo, Lord,
Yeah. Great job, David.
I like that song.
Thank you very much.
I like
That's
it a
a
lot.
really cool twist on words.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yes, it is that's a very fun song.
Yeah, it's really cool. And folks, you can go right now to any, you said that it is on all music platforms, right? iTunes, YouTube,
Yes.
Spotify.
Spotify, pretty much.
Spotify, yeah, it's on Spotify, and all them other things too. I don't know. Like
That's
I said,
great.
my idea
Well,
being
remember, it's
computer
under
literate, being
David.
able to spell it and use it in a sentence. I let my producer handle all that stuff.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool that you got a producer. I guess that would be my husband.
Adam Knight out of Nashville. He's really good. He's a super guy to work with.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's such a blessing, really. I love that
It
song
is.
a lot. Welcome everybody that's joining us and that has already been on the live with us. This is Carolyn's Corner Live. For those of you who are just joining us, this is our special guest to my whatever. He's right next to me, David Key. It may be your left, it's my right. I don't know. Down below me, no matter what I say, that doesn't sound right, is our good friend, Mr. Jerry Bradley. He's also our music consultant. Hi, Jerry. And underneath David, we have Mr. Paul Gallagher. He is my co-host and a wonderful, crazy guy. You need to be like,
Hey,
what's his
crazy.
name?
I do this
Um,
crazy
And he's
guy.
to smash
Yes.
fruit and stuff with a hammer.
Do what?
Isn't he?
Oh,
the guy that
no,
used to
no,
smash
no,
fruit
no.
and Stuff with a hammer.
No.
Watermelons. And
No,
stuff?
that's Gallagher, and no, I'm
Yeah.
no relation.
Yeah, I used to
No
love watching
relation.
Gallagher. No relation. That's too bad. My grandson is watching. Hi, Spencer. Grandma loves you. I got to do it, guys. Mommy's waving at me. He is my sunshine. Every time I go to visit my daughter, she says, "Yeah, Mom, I know you really didn't come to see me. You came to see Spencer." I'm like, "No, I came to see both of you." I hope y'all are doing okay. Welcome to everyone that's tuning in right now. We really appreciate it. Before I forget, I want to remind you again to like, comment, and share. Make sure you share. If you're on YouTube, we need more viewers. We need more subscribers. How do you say that word, Paul?
Subscribers.
We
Hey,
click the bell, the little bell.
If
I
you
got
see
to,
a bell, you gotta click it.
Yeah,
What's up, Jerry? What were you gonna say?
apparently I gotta go. Author Callie Austin.
I
She
saw
said-
that.
She said, "Turn the lights out. The party's over, Jerry." So,
No,
all
don't
right.
leave us,
Well,
Jerry.
well, yeah.
Don't listen. Don't leave us. I know I saw that too. I don't know why she said that. That's funny. Do you know her?
I know
saw
the
it.
other half of her. Kind of. You know?
What half do you know?
The male half.
Okay, all right.
Oh no, what happened to David? We lost David. Oh no, look what happened.
He said, "Oh, I guess I'm gonna go
I
too."
hope somebody didn't abduct him and they turned his camera off.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Nina, beautiful Nina, how are you? So y'all, I don't know what happened to David. We're gonna give him a minute. Oh, I knew they were gonna abduct him because they're like, there's a talented white guy in a Hawaiian shirt singing in a parking lot. Singing
In Pennsylvania, where it's cold, and he's in short sleeves and a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's
a sacrifice for your love of music. Oh, Nina, so good to see Nina. Nina's on here. Paul, say hi.
Hi, Nina.
Jerry, this is Jerry below me. This is Paul to my catty corner, and I don't know what happened to David. He just disappeared. Hi, Spencer. Grandma loves you so much. I miss you so much. I'm going to see you Saturday.
His camera I wonder if his battery died on his phone.
I don't
He
know.
might have.
A lot lizard got him. That's what Sean said.
A lot lizard.
I hope a truck driver didn't attack him and grab him, or worse, alien abduction. I'm just kidding, y'all. Well, we don't know. I don't know what's over.
Oh, there he is. I told you.
David, are you okay?
I see pineapples.
So,
I do too. Is that blood or a pineapple? David, are you okay? Speak to us.
Oh, he put some sunglasses on.
Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. I think somebody put a shirt on and is pretending to be him. It couldn't be him because he would be talking to me right now. David.
Oh. He's gone again.
Well, folks, as you can see, this is a live show.
Is he trying to show us something we don't necessarily want to see?
David.
Oh. He said, "Hi, David." Wait, that doesn't look like David.
Dude,
Somebody took his shirt.
Somebody did run off with his shirt.
Where did David go? What did you do to him, you bad man? Oh, it looks like David. Is it David? Oh, thank God it's David. Oh, we were
don't
so
shout
scared.
yet.
We thought for sure somebody stole you, abducted you, or aliens got you. We didn't know what happened.
He's
That
like,
van that kept driving by.
why
Maybe a
can't
lot
they hear
lizard.
me?
Can you hear us? David, can you hear us?
He said, "Uh-oh."
Uh-oh. Don't worry, I have a backup mechanism. I have the bat phone. In other words, messenger.
The bat phone.
Calling David. David, are you okay? Oh my gosh.
Is there anybody out there?
Can anybody hear me? All right, there's always issues. You never know what's going to happen when you're live. David, can you hear us?
Are you there? Hello, Mr. David. We're looking for you. Can you hear us?
I don't think he's saying anything.
I think he's trying to talk. Oh, you can hear us? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
We know listen. We know hear you.
Sean said, it's me again, Margaret.
He said, roll it.
Okay, can you hear us? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. That's so funny. Oh,
I love these live podcasts.
You never know.
Because
wow.
It's so
Back
funny.
your nose up, David.
He was.
That is so funny. So I got to tell you, when I first came in here to, can you hear us?
Go ahead. No,
David?
he can't hear us.
He can't hear us.
He's trying to figure out the problem.
Okay. So when I first came in here to start the show today, he was already in the waiting room, our green room, as I call it. It's like a special place where the people go to wait. It's a green room. It's not really green. In fact, it's not anywhere. It's just virtual. You're just hanging out in limbo. Anyway, and I walk over here to look, and I see his mouth going, I told Brett, I said, "Oh my God, that was funny. That was funny." So, David, if you get your sound back, come back. So while David is trying to get his sound adjusted, this is a good time. Do you
Well, I
hear
have
the
a
words
question.
that are coming out of
Well,
my
I have a question for Jerry.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I know great people on this show want to know, just like I want to know,
Okay.
what is behind you?
Oh, that's my Air Force blanket.
Ah.
So I'm going to give you the short miniature version. So when I got hurt in Iraq and I was sent to Landstuhl, they had a bunch of spouses and ladies there. They'd sew these blankets for the guys, and this thing folds up into and has a pillow, right, that tucks into a pocket, and it makes a nice little thing. You can put it behind your head. You can do whatever. But when you're coming back, on a medevac flight from overseas, it's freaking cold. And I thought when I got the blanket, I was like, oh, this is nothing. And I didn't realize it, but all the ladies had signed it that had stitched it all up in here. So that's
awesome.
Wow, that is awesome.
It's so funny that you said that you were in the Air Force and you were in Iraq. Well, apparently, was it an IED that got you and you had to go medevac?
No, it was a helicopter that got shot, and we kind of went down, and it was kind of hard, and it was, anyway, we don't need to get into all that, but no, it's really cool that the ladies got that, and they put it together, and I really didn't appreciate it because I'm like in the hospital with all these blankets on me and going stoned out of my mind. But when I got on that medevac plane and was coming home and it was cold, and they gave you one green Army blanket. I'm in Landstuhl. I'm an Air Force chief, and I'm in Landstuhl. They're freaking out. Ooh, we got an Air Force chief. One, I think they weren't used to seeing any chiefs get their butts out from behind the desk and actually go in the field.
Wow.
Oh, believe me, I know, because when I was in the because I was in the Army for 8 years, and it was and I was asking about that for a specific reason, is because a lot of people say that like Army picks on Air Force, Army picks on Navy picks on Army, Navy. The service members always pick on each other. And one of the things that I was doing this, we have a really good friend. She was in the Air Force. So I did the whole thing, me being in the Army, I was picking on her about being in the Air Force. Oh, you didn't do anything, because when I was in Bosnia, Air Force had special huts where they slept 4 people. They got their laundry, they had washing machines, cable TV for free. In the Army, we all slept like 12 to a C hut. We had a little tiny space that we had. So I was picking on her about it. And then she dropped the bomb that she got hit by an IED. And I was like, oh. So I have learned to keep my mouth shut when it comes to people in the Air Force and picking on them, because there's a lot of people that does stuff like this and
combat career fields. Yes, there's a lot of combat career fields in the Air Force. And I spent a good portion of my career on Army posts when I was with the TACPs, and we supported, like 5th Corps when I was overseas and stuff. So it was it's a unique experience. And even within the Air Force, I will tell you, the one branch of service that I really admire is the Marines. Because with the Marine first, foremost, period. Anything else is secondary. And even in the Air Force and in the Army, you've got those sections that are, kind of behind the wire type of people, and you don't always quite see eye to eye on those people that are outside the wire and the people on the inside the wire, because you come in from the field and you want to go to finance to get a problem straightened out with your pay, and they tell you to come back at 2:00 in the afternoon after you've been on a 14-hour mission. Things can get a little heated real quick.
Yeah. I've been there. I've experienced that, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, looks like David might be able to. He found a way he can communicate with us through our private chat.
Yeah.
Go, David. Did your mic go down, David? We can see.
And here's Carolyn. She's trying to talk on the microphone, and of course, she's muted as usual. Hey, you know what? Stay muted. You can't be the interrupticus.
I know. I wanted to point out that all three of you, I believe, are veterans, and thank you so much for your service. So, Paul, you're Army. Jerry, you were Army. Jerry, you were Air Force.
Air
And
Force, Navy.
Navy. Wow.
Navy.
So
and then the guy and Charles, who's actually going to join us, I hope, here in a little bit, he was in the Coast Guard.
Wow, that's so awesome. We have almost every branch of the military represented. Thank you guys so much for your service. It means a lot. I could never do it. I'm not brave. I'm a big chicken.
So it's not about being brave. It's just about, what I was a paper pusher.
Yeah.
The most combat experience that I had was going out and outside into almost a minefield to where we had to issue escrow ID cards for some Russian soldiers. That was, and then I walked the wire. So I've had a little bit, but not combat, because I was never shot at. I never shot at anybody. I never did any of that stuff. Thank God.
Yeah.
And but yeah, when we had some crazy experiences on our Tuzla Air Force Base, where there's a few. Of course, you've heard some of the stories that I've told. That of course, at the time it was serious, but now I've learned to take those experiences and make jokes out of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know I minimize what it really was, because I've learned that I've had to do that because people, like civilians, will never understand that type of experience. Never.
Yeah, I know. I can't even imagine. So I don't know if you saw what Nina put. She said that's called a quillo. So I guess the thing behind you that the awesome ladies made, that is so cool.
That's cool.
That is so awesome. And Nina knows, because I know for sure that I believe her husband served for years and years, if I'm not mistaken. That's awesome. We all had an amazing opportunity this year, Jerry. I wish you lived closer. All of us as a group, about, I don't know, how many people were there, Paul? Maybe 24 of us, 23 of us, in our little Carolyn's Corner crew got together and went to the Marine Corps Ball.
Oh, yeah, it was the Marine Corps Ball. That was pretty cool.
It was really neat. And we all just came together to kind of support a worthy cause. And I really enjoyed it. It was fun. And it was neat seeing people get recognition for,
Yeah, and it's funny because my dad was in Vietnam, so he was in the Army. And he goes, "What in the hell were you doing at a Marine Corps ball?"
Yeah, I bet he was. So, David, I'm wondering if you can still hear us out there. I'm just curious. David is obviously having some technical issues. That's going to happen with a live show, unfortunately.
That's all right. That's why we fill this up with all this wonderful talking.
Yes.
And, so I want to find out if Tim get to know. Hey, I'm going to interrupt you now. So people actually, because everyone who's the viewers and stuff like that, they actually get to learn a little bit about us now, and who we are, what we've done in our lives, and how we got here. Because it's crazy, because Jerry, I knew he was in the Air Force, and I knew he was hurt in the Air Force, but I didn't know how. I didn't know and of course, I still don't know the whole details, but I get the idea of what happened. And, a lot of people don't understand that. And it's like, now he's into the music production. It's like, how did you do that? It's like me being personnel. It's like, I got into magic. I got into writing. I got into all this. It's like, how do you transition into that little world? And it's crazy.
Well, Carolyn, I believe I told her the story, didn't I? Yeah. The Megan story.
Yes, that's a great story. Share that if you'd like to.
Well, it takes a while. All right. So
at least part of it.
Yeah, because no one actually knows. I mean, because I know what you do for us. I know you've been on a few times, but I don't actually, because we never interviewed you. I never interviewed you, and I really don't know who you are.
All right, I'm going to try to give you the shorter version,
Awesome.
Although this is not a short version. As short as I can get it. Put it that way. So because it's one of those stories that just kept going on. So I was in the Air Force, and I was Chief of Security Forces, and we had a team that was getting ready to go on deployment, and we had a young lady on that team named Megan, and Megan has given me more than enough times permission to talk about this. Megan was on her way, I believe, to Pennsylvania. She was in West Virginia. She was taking her daughter Kylie. She was taking her to stay with her sister while she was on deployment, because the team was getting ready to deploy. Megan was a single mom. Her daughter was an infant at the time. Megan got into a car wreck in West Virginia. She had 17 skull fractures, completely crushed her pelvis. Kylie in the back seat just had some bruising on her chest from the seat belt. All the impact was on the driver's side. It kind of curved the car around. And to this day, we don't know what happened because she doesn't remember what happened. That night, the doctor said that Megan would not live through the night. They said that she'd never regain consciousness. She did. They said that she would be a vegetable. She wasn't. They said she'd never walk again. She's obviously walking again. Not running so much, but as she said, she never liked running to begin with. Megan got shipped out to a hospital in California, and I was her chief, and Megan was really struggling. And it's funny you were talking about a ball, because we were at a dining out with my wife. My wife was there, and we were sitting at the table. We had General, Colonel, and some other people there. And Megan called, and she was really upset because she wasn't going to be able to get custody of Kylie back. And Kylie, her daughter, nobody was keeping it from her, but she had to be declared mentally competent in order for her to be able to have Kylie and live by themselves. And Megan was telling me about how she would go through and read, a section of the newspaper for them. And by the time she got to the end of the paragraph, she couldn't remember what the beginning was all about. And just so I stayed on the phone with her for about a half an hour. My wife didn't really appreciate me leaving her at the table with all these people. Oh, wait a minute. David might be back.
I brought him back just to see.
I'm back.
Go ahead. Keep going.
He's risen from the dead. Okay, let me shorten
And
this
we
up real
have
quick.
a voice.
And what a nice sleep it was.
Yeah. And we can finish the story later on. But anyway, long story short, I wrote a poem for Megan. The poem itself, it said, asked for people to pray for Megan. And about 2 weeks later, a charge nurse contacted me and said, I don't know what you did, but she has made a huge, miraculous turnaround. And I had sent the poem out to some of her friends. And when I did it, I said, here's this poem. And they said, well, can we share it? And I said, you can, but don't let anybody know the chief wrote it. I mean, Chief Security Forces writing poetry, that's going to go over like a hot fart in church, So, I know I'd be catching crap over that for a long time to go. Chief, you write me a poem, please? Whatever. Anyway, so no, she did. She made a huge turnaround, and Megan, I sent her a copy too, thinks it's all because of the poem, because within the poem, it was asking people to pray. Okay. I'm not going to go all the way to the end of the story, but fast forward with me. I'm in Landstuhl in Germany. I had been shipped there from Iraq. I don't remember the first 5 days of being at the hospital, but I kind of finally came, out of it. And I grabbed some paper and a pen, and I was writing down stuff that I could remember. And I had an Air Force liaison came in and said, hey, Chief, what you doing? And I said, well, I'm writing. And I said, really, believe it or not, I'm trying to write a poem. He says, yeah. And she kind of got that funny look on her face. I said, do you like poetry? She says,
it's not your day. I'm like, yes, it
Paul,
is.
you want to mute your mic for a minute, sir? We're picking up somebody in the background pretty loudly. I'm guessing it's yours. I'm not sure.
It's Jason talking.
Okay. Go ahead, Jerry. Sorry. Uh-oh, we lost Jerry. Oh, no. What is going on?
We're just losing everybody tonight.
They're hopping off, hopping on, hopping on.
And now you get a full view of David there.
Yeah, I know. David,
actually,
can you hear us now? There's Jerry.
You see the top of there he is.
I had to log off and log back on.
Okay, good. So Jerry's back. David's back. Jerry, can you hear us?
Okay.
Now Jerry's frozen. It
It's
happens
so funny
with
is
live
that
shows.
I started where Jerry was. I moved over one to where Dave, and then now I'm up here with Carolyn.
We're rotating, so I guess he hears us.
it was my magic. See,
It's like the
yeah.
show game.
See, Paul, you thought you were the magician, huh?
Yeah.
It's just magic. It's just magic.
So
Well, I'm glad everybody has their sound
did we
back.
get to the end of it? I think we got to the end of it. Anyway,
No,
the
not
girl
all the
brought
way.
me
She
Megan.
came in. The nurse came in, and
Nurse came in about
Well,
a
asked
minute.
if you like poetry.
the Air Force,
You asked her if
yeah,
she liked
I
poetry.
asked her. Yeah, and she said no, and I said everybody likes at least one poem. I mean, Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven was really what got me into poetry
Right.
when I was a kid. And she said, well, there was this one poem somebody sent me a few years back. Now you have to remember she's an Air Force liaison. She's working with people in the hospital, making sure they take care of, shipped home right, and all this other stuff. And she brought it to me the next day, and it was Megan's poem.
Wow,
that's
awesome.
She told me that
that's good stuff there.
Yeah, and well, the story doesn't end. And I kind of went, okay, I got you, Lord. This is what you want me to do. And
Yes.
so after I retired, I decided to start taking college classes on poetry, which was a lot harder to do than you would think, because I just wanted to take them, and they kept going, you don't need it for your degree. And I was like, I just want to take them. I'll pay for them. Let me take the stupid classes. Anyway, I was sitting at Smoky Bones, and I was eating, and I was working on my computer. Smoky Bones being a restaurant. Anyway, this lady sat down beside me, and she asked me what I was doing. And I said, believe it or not, I'm working on a poetry class. And she says, oh, she thought I was the professor because I'm an old dude, and I went, no, I'm actually taking a class. I said, do you like poetry? And of course, the answer was no. I said, come on, everybody has one poem that they like. She said, well, there was this one poem when my son got in a motorcycle accident and fractured his skull that somebody sent me. And I said, really? I said, tell me about it. She started telling me about it. And I pulled Megan's poem up on the computer and I showed it to her. I said, is this it? She went, oh my gosh. And you've got the author's name. I'd really like to thank him. That poem helped me through a really difficult time. And I said, well, I wrote it. She made me pull out my ID card and show her because she didn't believe me, And I went back to class that night and I told everybody about this experience and how this poem had came back to me twice, even though it wasn't that great a poem. 2 people in that class had seen that same poem because so this thing has went all the way around the world and has come back to me. 2 more people in that class had seen that same poem, and both of them had to do with injuries. So
that's
I'll see if I can pull it up later on. Maybe we can read it.
That is an incredible story. I got the chill bumps just here. Wow, that's amazing.
So that got me into the poetry realm, and I was told I'd never be able to play guitar again when I got injured. And well, after about 4 years of being injured, now we lost Carolyn. And after about 4 years of being injured, my daughter brought me a guitar from a garage sale and gave it to me. I'd already given my guitars to my sons and said, Dad, you're going to play. I don't care what the doctor said. And so I started messing with it. I couldn't. And anyway, so I picked it up and I started playing the guitar. Started thinking of the song, and I got the song. I started writing it down, started playing the guitar. I could play everything. But before that, I couldn't. And I was like, okay, God, I got it. You want me to go in this? I don't know what's up with my internet popping off and on.
I know, and I just had an issue with the chat. I clicked it accidentally the wrong way, and it disabled the chat. I'm sorry, Jerry. Stand by for just a second. Can someone please send any message at all so I can make sure it's working? It's cleared all my messages. I have to start all over. Anybody send any channel, any message, sorry, on the public chat, please. It's a learning experience. I saw Nina's post and I was going to click on it to share it, and somehow I think I accidentally blocked her. Oh my God, I sure did not mean to do that. Can somebody out there please send a message? Let's see.
I sent you one.
It's working. Nina, can you please try to send a message? Okay, thank you so much. Sorry about that. It's a learning experience. It's a learning curve. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nina. I'm so glad. I almost blocked Nina. I was like, oh my gosh. She was really excited to hear the rest of the story. And okay, good. Thank you. I'm so glad y'all are having fun and you like that story. So where was the lady? I had forgotten, because my memory's so bad. It was years later that she said that about the poem, right? And
it was about 4 years later when I was in law school, and after I retired, which was another almost a year, not quite, and I started taking poetry classes where I saw that lady in the bar, and she who had gotten sent to her, and the two. So this was right around 2009. And then about 4 years after that is when I got my guitar from my daughter, who bought it from me. We'll call it a garage sale, but it was really a divorce sale. And she got me the guitar and said, "I don't care what the doctor said, you're going to start playing again." And I started. I really tried and I couldn't do it. But one night I had this song. It was a Christian song. It was going through my head, and I picked up the guitar. I could play every chord. I got the song all the way down. It just came out. It flowed like there was no tomorrow.
Wow.
It just came out perfect. And I said, "Okay, I can play again." And then I tried to do some old rock and roll like I used to, and it didn't work. And I went, "Okay, I got it. I got it, Lord. This is where you want me to go now." But, I kind of would like to play some of the old stuff too. Okay. So it was a while before I could play some of the old stuff, but no, it's cool.
That's an awesome story. So that poem, no one knew it was you who wrote it. And then years later, you run into someone and says that poem really touched them. Isn't that? I know Nina said she really has enjoyed the shared story. Yeah, absolutely. I do too. I think it's an amazing story. I'm so glad y'all.
That was an amazing story. That's like that's like a movie. I mean,
yes.
Well, and we can thank David, because if he hadn't lost his camera, I wouldn't have had to fill that time in, So
yeah.
Again, what do I always say? Everything is for a reason. Everything has.
And now everybody has gotten the experience to know who you are.
Absolutely. Improvise, adapt, and overcome, right?
Absolutely. I love that story. I think it's so beautiful. And I'm talking about it every show, every time. Paul and he knows I don't believe in coincidences. I don't anymore. Everything that we go through in our life, or everything that occurs for whatever reason, is meant to be.
And it's going to lead you right here.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's so beautiful. So let me interrupt again. I'm sorry. So Nina said she would love to read the poem. She would love to read the poem, Jerry. So if you get a chance, if you want to send it to me or send it to Nina, if you would like to share it.
Sure. I mean, I can read it after, David's done.
Sure. Okay. That sounds great. So, David, do you have another song you'd like to play for us, sir?
Oh, sure. What do you want? You want a goofy song, or do you want a something emotional, pretty?
Goofy. We like to go for songs. We love to go for songs.
Goofy. Let's hear from the audience. Well, let's hear a goofy one.
Okay.
And then you can play a serious one. How's that? And then we have another song we need to play before it gets too much later. Poor Tim. He's like, where did it go?
Well, you know what? Everybody has something in life they want to do before they die. It's called a bucket list. Here's mine.
Awesome.
Well, it's been a good life. It's been a good run. I've been lots of places. I've had lots of fun. But my twilight years are coming, and I think of all I've missed. There's things I want to add to my bucket list. Want to smoke some weed with Willie, get in a big food fight. I want to go cow tipping on a Saturday night. Sail around the world, climb Mount Everest. I think I'm going to add that to my bucket list. There's lots of crazy things to do before I die, like jump out of a plane way up in the sky. If you only knew how swiftly I'd run off with Taylor Swift, think I'm going to add that to my bucket list. Want to lead a NASCAR race in a super fast machine, see the bottom of the ocean in a yellow submarine. Play the biggest stadium that ever did exist. Think I'm going to add that to my bucket list. Want to play knock knock run on the White House lawn. When I've done my time in Leavenworth, I'd like to streak back home. Maybe go out in the woods, poke a bear that is pissed. Think I'll leave that off of my bucket list. Oh, there's lots of crazy things to do before I die, like jump out of a plane way up in the sky. If you only knew how swiftly I'd run off with Taylor Swift, think I'm going to add that to my bucket list. But for now, I'm gonna sit here in a moment of bliss. and do what most folks do at a time like this. I'm gonna hold on to this pole till I catch me a big old fish, and think of all the stuff to add to my bucket list.
Yeah. Oh, I really like that one. That is cute, especially the part where you're gonna go poke a bear that's already pissed. Isn't that what the line was?
I was just
I don't know.
laughing.
That
I
just
was
came
like,
out.
oh
I don't know
Lord.
where that came from.
That is really cute. What do you think, guys and gals? Show him some love. Show David some love. That's a funny song. I really, really enjoyed that. I've
That's
enjoyed
funny.
all of your songs tonight, David. I really have. You've made us laugh a lot. So Nina said, yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
Oh, Sarah says, good. You're getting some good loving. Good loving, skate hearts everywhere, pretty much. Yeah, that's awesome, David. I loved it.
Thank you.
Do you have another one you want to share with us? I'll let you do one more, and then we've got to get to our. Yeah, Nina said fun song. I agree. I think it's a really fun song. How about a serious one? What do you think?
Of course, you know, Jimmy Buffett is a huge influence on my music, and it's obvious, you know, of course, his biggest song that he's ever done is called Margaritaville.
Yes, and let me just interrupt you real quick. Hold on. Tim, we're going to get to your song right after this song. Go ahead.
It's obvious that when he was going through women problems when he wrote that song. And, you know, as we get older, we get wiser. We make better choices in life. He chose to drink his problems away in Margaritaville. Right. That's the very one. So anyway, let's see how many Jimmy Buffett fans we have out there. I've written this song. This is called Find My Way Back Home. And see if you can count the names of the Jimmy Buffett songs in this song. All right?
Count the many times you say what?
Hey, bartender, I'm feeling sadly. I'm so tired and all alone. I miss her oh so badly, and I want to go back home. I picked up a bank of bad habits, and I found myself in here. Started drowning in tequila, thinking, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm just a pirate who looked at 40 a long, long time ago. But I've had some changes in attitudes, and I want her, don't you know? I love that woman oh so much, and I guess I always will. Can you help me find my way back home from Margaritaville? I thought we'd spend our lives together. Oh, the stories we could tell. But since the phone ain't ringing and it still ain't her, only time will tell. If there's a place in this world for a gambler, that's a real fine start. Come Monday, maybe I can find me a home back in her heart. I'm just a pirate who looked at 40 a long, long time ago. But I've had some changes in attitudes, and I want her, don't you know? I love that woman oh so much, and I guess I always will. Can you help me find the way back home from Margaritaville? Migration of a sailor is blowing through the trees. Winds of change are coming, riding on a Bama breeze. I'm just a pirate who looked at 40 a long, long time ago. But I've had some changes in attitude, and I wanna don't you know I love that woman so much, and I guess I always will. Can you help me find the way back home from Margaritaville? Can you help me find the way back home from Margaritaville?
All right. One of us was even singing along. I think that was Jerry, but I'm not sure. Great song. I loved it.
Thank you.
Loved it, David. That was
There
beautiful.
are 12 Jimmy Buffett songs in that song.
Wow. I believe it. Yeah, absolutely. I was trying to listen real intently and trying to message to say, hey, we have another guest on at the same time. So, David, that was awesome. That was so awesome. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing all of your amazing talent with us.
Having me.
You are more than welcome. We really, really enjoyed it. I'm not chasing you off by any means. You're more than welcome to hang out with us.
Yes.
Help interact with us because we're about to have even more fun than we're already having. I'm going to go ahead and bring another guest on. Dave, stay on. I'm going to go ahead and bring one of Paul's friends. This is the gentleman that is taking Paul hiking. So we have a lot to ask him. I'm going to go ahead and bring Charles. His name is Charles Decker. I'm so happy he joined us. But I do want to let you guys know before we'll introduce him, and then I want to get to that last song that
Remember
that I'm going to play for someone else.
If you see the little snakes on the ground, the ones that rattle, don't touch them. Okay.
Oh yeah.
If you're out there in the woods, tell that. Right? Yeah, and you know what? This gets me. I read something the other day that said that 90% of snake bites in the United States involve alcohol. You know, and here's what I'm wondering is when they're going to come up with a coalition to ban these snakes from drinking.
Very good, David. So, folks, I would like to bring on a special surprise visitor. We thought he might be coming. Paul told us. We weren't sure. Like I said, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to bring him on. I have Tim on here as well. We're going to play the song for Tim, introduce it real quick, and then we'll have a nice conversation with Charles. But I want to go ahead and bring him on and let everybody meet him. This is a good friend of Paul's and now a good friend of ours. This is Mr. Charles Decker. Let's see. Hey, Charles. Hi. Wow. I love the beard. I love the beard.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Charles, welcome to Carolyn's Corner Live. I'm so glad you joined us. It's a pleasure to have you here. We have a lot of stuff to talk about with you. I know we do. But I don't know if you can hear me. I have something we need to do first. So,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, because we have another gentleman by the name of Tim. I was pronouncing it Schlesner. His name is, he says you pronounce it Schlesner, okay? It's spelled with a CH, so it sounds like Schlesner, but it's not. So he wrote a beautiful song, and when I was going through the songwriting group that I belong to and trying to listen to some of the songs, we always try to, return the favor. If they listen to your song, we try to listen to at least 2 or 3 people on Fridays to give them some positive feedback or, encouraging feedback. That's what I try to do. Some people, critique, which is fine. And I heard this song and it just really grabbed my heart. And I said, wow, that is a beautiful song. And then, I don't want to bring anybody down, but this is a Christian song written by this amazing man. Now, I've been messaging him back and forth, and his pastor actually did the music and the vocals. And his pastor has been in several bands. And I was blown away by the message of this song. I think it's going to really bless a lot of people out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get ready. He's got a beautiful video. I mean, it's a simple video, but to me, the song is just beautiful. Are y'all ready to hear this? I'm super excited for y'all to hear it. So this song is called Love Will Win. Let me put it up on the screen real quick, the picture, so y'all can make note of it. I'm going to block y'all out for just a minute.
Okay.
So it's Love Will Win, written by Tim Schlesner, actually pronounced Schlesner, and performed by his pastor, Tim Lech. Okay? Everybody got that written down? Because I know you're going to want to go and download it and share it with your friends. All right. So without further ado, I'd like to play this song. So everybody just hang tight and listen to the words very carefully. I think it's a beautiful song. And we'll be right back after this song.
I've got worries, I've got wonders, and the world is filled with doubt. I just need your calming presence to help me figure this thing out. I need direction, God, show me a master plan. Leave this in your loving hands, still my troubled heart again. Heavy burdens on my shoulders, and I've done it to myself. Thought I could do it on my own, but now I know I need your help. I can't see the bigger picture, help me see your point of view. I know I can't do all things, but Father, that's because of you. Daddy, have you got a minute? 'Cause I really need to talk. I got lost amidst distractions, now I'm stumbling in my walk. Could you nudge me towards the right thing? I've gotten in the way again. Bring peace into the situation. Show me that your love will win. Oh, You said you need some peace and quiet. Come inside and take some rest. Shut the outside noises out, and remember that you're blessed. You've gone through many trials on this path you chose to roam. I'm happy that you've turned to me, and now I'm here to take you home. Then he kissed me on the forehead, and he said the victory is won. You know I came to save the lost son, and I'll forgive all that you've done. Don't forget, my child, your soul is on the mend. I'm the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and I am the end. And I'll always have a minute, and I'll always want to talk. I'll always be there when you stumble, and I'll carry you on your walk. I'll always nudge you towards the right thing, and you'll feel it from within. I'll bring peace that passes understanding. Oh, and my love will always win. Daddy, have you got a minute? 'Cause I really need to talk. I got lost amidst distractions, now I'm stumbling in my walk. Could you nudge me towards the right thing? I've gotten in the way again. Bring peace into the situation. Oh, bring peace into the situation. Please bring peace into my situation, and show me that your love will win. Daddy, do you have a minute?
Wow. Jerry, I saw your comment. I absolutely love this song too. When I heard it, it immediately gave me goosebumps. I hope that blesses someone out there. I love the way personally, I love just the way it makes you feel, and the fact that it's almost like he's not just talking to God, but he's talking to not just his father, but his daddy. And I think that's amazing. I love it. I thought it was so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, show him some love. I don't know if Tim is on here right now. He was, and then he may have gotten knocked off. So show him some love. He will be coming on the show, hopefully sometime in March. Good job. I love it. Thank you so much. He's going to come on sometime in March. Thank you so much, Charles. He said that was his first song he's got done at the studio. I think that's incredible. He's working on another one. He said as soon as he gets it released, he'll let me know, and he's going to try to come on the show. But he didn't want to come on, and he didn't want to make it about him. So I think that's awesome. And I really love the song. You can find that song on almost any of the music outlets, and it's Love Wins. And the singer, let me put that up again, just for those of you who weren't here. Let me just put the picture of it so you can get the singer's name. Sorry, I'm going to block us off again, guys. Love Will Win, written by Tim Schlesinger, pronounced Schlesinger, and it is performed by Tim Lesch, Letschh. And he's got a lot of songs on YouTube and all on social media or on music platforms. Everybody got that? I know you're going to want to go download that if you'd like to. So thank you so much.
Do I have a feeling, Carolyn, that somebody is going to come on the show later and go, "That's not how you pronounce my name"?
I'm sure. Probably. No, because I haven't talked to him on the phone. I've only got messages, and he said you pronounce it Schlesinger, Slayssner.
Schlesinger.
So, yeah, and it looks like Schlesinger, but that's what he said, so I'm going to go by what he said. Schlesinger. I might be saying it wrong, but that's how he wrote it. So I really appreciate you writing that song, Tim. I really, really do. I sent it to a family member, and they were crying. It's just a very powerful song. Thank you so much. I don't know if he's on here right now, but hopefully he'll go back and watch this. Let me see what the comments. So Nina is back. Nina, did you get to hear that song? If not, Nina said, I'm back. Thanks, Jerry. So Nina, you're going to want to go back and watch the show, at least towards that part, so you can see that song. It was, see and hear it. Yes, Jerry, I absolutely love it. So again, thank you so much, Tim. So we do have another special guest in on the show, because they're not really in the show. They're on the show. No, they're not really on it. They're over there. Anyway, it is Paul's good friend.
He's down there.
And outdoorsman, Mr. Charles Decker. Welcome again, Charles.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yes, thanks for joining us.
I'll be nice.
Oh, hi, Cherise. So let me tell Cherise, she just tuned in. Cherise, make sure if you missed it, you go back and watch that video I just played. But wait till we're done, because I don't want you to miss any of these stories. So this is Paul's good friend, Charles Decker. So Paul, why don't you tell us, or vice versa, y'all tell us a little bit about Charles. Whoever wants to start.
Okay, a little backstory. We work for the same secret company, and he always have talked about hiking and walking in the trails and the woods. And this last time he started talking about it, I'm like, hey, you mind if I join you? And next thing I know, I am doing all of this crazy stuff and going into the woods next week for 4 days.
I think it's so cool.
And if anybody knows who I am, how I am, and what I have done, you will know the woods and me do not mix.
So I'm going to refer to Paul's wife from here on out as PBH, Paul's better half.
I like that. Oh, I like that. Can I use it, PBH? Yes, I agree. Go ahead.
I think I'm going to have better luck with her than I will with him.
Well, Jerry, let's be optimistic now.
The joke is I'm taking her next. So But
yeah, so apparently all this stuff that she has bought me for this trip is actually on loan to me because she's probably the one that's going to be using it the most.
Oh, now come on. I have faith in you. I gave you 90 hours. Didn't I? Wasn't that how much I gave you? Whatever the max was. I reluctantly said, okay, I'll give him the most because I have faith in you, Paul.
You hear that? Reluctantly.
Well, at first, Charles, I was only gonna give him 6 hours. And then I thought, well, that's not very nice. I don't mean to be negative. I know Paul. I love him and I know him. I think he'll do well.
It's always interesting. Anytime you take somebody out for the first time, it's always interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's something you either love or you hate or you love to hate. So
I'm sure.
And
you know that we're doing a pool on how long Paul's going to last out there.
I know, and I didn't get to get in on it because I would win.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, where is Crystal? She's got the numbers. Paul, how many hours is it supposed to be total?
16 is the only one that counts. Okay, 16 hours. You know, and I calculated that because the first night he's going to be sleeping most of the night away.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
that's like
believe it or not,
hours.
your first night you don't really sleep.
You're too scared.
No, it's not that. It's more you just don't. It's the unknown because you're out of your element.
Yeah.
So your first night you'll wake up more just a tree snapping or whatever. You'll wake up. By the second or third night, you're like, I don't care.
It's just a
And
tree.
you just sleep.
It's just a deer.
It's just Bigfoot. Yeah. it's just Bigfoot.
No, it's really not. I mean, I've never once been in a place where I was worried about anything. Now, I mean, anything can happen and all that, but where I normally backpack, there's black bears and cougars and everything else, and I've never. The second or third night, I'm out. I don't even hear anything. It's just that first night that you don't hear anything. Everything you hear.
True, like they show on all the shows, most of them that I've seen, of course, on TV. The animals, for the most part, they're going to stay away from you for the most part. Now, I did see one where they were in Africa, one of those Naked and Afraid, and the lions were going around their tents.
Well, if you do everything right, the chances of an animal coming into your camp or through your camp are slim. That's not. I've actually had a hog run through camp and bump my butt while I was sleeping in my hammock.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't know that.
but I've never, because I don't sleep with food in my camp.
Right.
I've never had a problem with most animals. It's just the random. And I was at a state park, and they had a bunch of wild pigs, and they just happened to run through my camp that night. I don't know what the deal was.
Wow.
But no, it's going to be an entertaining thing just because he's not an outdoorsy guy. I don't understand how he spent however many years he was in the Army.
I know.
And he's this dainty little, and yet I was in the service that everybody makes fun of, and I'm ready to go out in the woods and rough it and everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Don't think this is making you fall. No, it's not. No. Let me put this up on the screen. No, it's probably not. Well, I laughed so hard during that show because he was talking about the poles. What are they called again, Paul?
Trekking poles.
Trekking poles. And I was laughing hysterically because, of course, he got the ones with the shock absorbers, and he said they're to keep the blood from going to your hands or to keep your hands from going to your blood. I don't remember. And I was laughing so hard because I can see Paul with his trekking poles. It just made me laugh because I'm like, Paul, trekking poles. And then we're all like, well, he's got a little headlamp. I'm going to say a lot of prayers for you guys.
No, the fun one is going to be the toughest thing to do in the woods is to go see a man about a horse.
That's what he said.
That's the most thing I'm scared of is I've never.
You can get a toilet seat in a 5-gallon bucket. He said, I can just see me carrying that around.
Well, the rule is whatever you carry in, you got to carry out.
Right,
so
yeah. Oh.
I'm not carrying a toilet seat in a bucket.
I don't know. That's my thing, too, because when we went down the beach, I went and camped one night with my daughter recently, last year. And that was my big thing. I'm like, because I got a bad foot, so I can't be walking a lot right now. So I literally went and bought a bucket and bought the toilet seat, and it actually worked. But yeah, for something like that. They make the little foldable ones. It looks like a little cot, right?
They make little shovels too. You know?
That's all you need is a shovel. That's all you need.
Okay.
And,
Yeah,
and I did make sure. I was at Walmart today, and I called Charles, and I'm like, okay. I saw a shovel on the counter, and I'm like, okay, do we have a shovel? And he goes, oh, I have a shovel. We only need one shovel for all three of us that we're going out there. We're good. We could share the shovel. And I'm like, okay, we're good. All right. One less thing for me to carry. I'm going to dig a hole.
And the funny thing is, the funny thing is, the other guy that's going with us has only been out with me twice. One time was really a bust. We were both having all kinds of issues. And the other time we actually made it to the tallest peak in Texas. So
wow, it's a progression, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's my second time to reach that peak. It was his first. I've made 3 attempts and only made it twice. It's a rough climb, but he's still like worried that he's not going to remember how to set stuff up, and it's one of those things you kind of build into. And I can't get either one of these knuckleheads. So I asked Paul, I said, have you tried setting up your hammock yet? Paul, where's your hammock?
That's what we said.
It's in the box.
Does it still have all the tags on it?
I think so.
But you got to take it out of the box, right? Because the box
that's my plan. Is I got my backpack tonight. I actually went to Walmart, got my backpack, and I tried it on at Walmart and made sure it was going to fit, because the one that it's gonna be funny. So
I wish we'd have gotten video of him putting his first backpack that they got on.
Yes, Crystal got me the backpack, and I put it on. He goes, "Have you tried it on yet?" I said, "No." Well, it's a backpack.
I wouldn't think.
And I'm like, okay. And he goes, "Well, try it on." I put it on. The dang thing came up like here on me. It's supposed to rest on your hips, and it's like a whole.
It's almost to his chest.
Yeah,
wow.
It was that short. It was like for a 3-year-old. It was tiny.
Wow. Well, you know what, Paul, I would do the same thing, because I'm not really making fun of you. I've never done it either, so I would not think I'd have to try on a backpack. But it's it's funny because kind of backpack.
Yeah, it's weird because whenever I first started talking about doing this, to me a backpack's a backpack. Yes. It's how big the backpack is and how you fill it up. And it's like he was talking about, oh, you need a 40-liter, 50-liter, 60-liter backpack. I'm like, oh, awesome, great. So we get the backpack. Has an internal frame. He said it has to have an internal frame. So I got the internal frame. Internal frame. So I got the internal frame backpack. Well, next thing I know, he goes, okay, now loosen the straps up. We're in the mid. Now, mind you, we're at Taqueria here in Beeville in the parking lot trying this on. We just got finished eating. So I have it, and he goes, nope, it's not going to fit you. And I'm like, huh? And he goes, yeah, let the straps all the way go. And I let them all go. And it was like that short. And I'm like, oh. And he goes, yeah, because apparently there are backpacks that have on the frame, you can undo it and then change it up where you can actually move the frame. I don't know. It's weird.
So there's two types. There's 2 types of backpacks. There's the kind that he bought that's adjustable, and then there's a kind that I have that's measured to or built to length. I contacted the company. I told them how long my back is, and they send me one measured to my back.
Wow.
But what I kept trying to reiterate to him is, your first trip, you don't want to spend a bunch of money because you may hate it.
Yeah.
Now, PBH may be going with me, so it's okay that they bought all this stuff. But the point is like when I started this, with I still had 3 kids at home.
Yeah.
And I just piecemealed it together slowly over time. But I now carry, when I go into the woods, I'm carrying between $1,000 and $1,500 on my back.
Wow.
It's not a cheap thing to get into in the long run, because your goal is to get it as light and as comfortable as you can.
Yes.
Not just throw 40 pounds on your back and go running through the woods. But
Yeah,
the
my
difference
nephew is an
is,
avid hiker, and he and his wife now, they just had a baby now, but he went somewhere. They were gone for months, and they camped. Like, he's really serious into it, like you are, and they go long hikes. I don't remember where he was at. Some kind of national forest, I think. And they had to save up, and it took them a long time. It's pretty
well,
crazy.
and it literally is. I mean, I do this winter only. I only do it. I mean, I don't have anything set up for summer. Everything I carry is designed to be in the cold, and but it's a ridiculously expensive thing to get into, and you don't want to do that initially because
That makes
you may
sense.
hate it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the difference is what the weight I used to carry was between 40 and 50 pounds, and now I'm down to between 25 and 30.
Wow.
So it does make a difference eventually to get into it. But yeah. So Paul, some of the stuff that he's had, I picked up one thing and I was just like, I'm glad you're carrying this because I ain't carrying it. He
Really?
bought PBH bought him a backup battery for his phone. That's
Yeah.
enough that all of us could charge our phones for the next week and never have to plug the thing in and recharge it.
Well, I asked him if he had that because I was worried about him.
It is ridiculously huge. I mean, it'll work and it's awesome.
Oh, it's a big one?
It's only about, you can't see both my hands, but it's about that big.
Oh,
but the thing probably weighs, I don't know, 5 or 6 pounds. It's heavy.
Oh my gosh.
Whereas mine is a third of the size, and it literally doesn't even weigh a third of it.
Wow.
But his has a solar panel built into it, and
oh yeah,
I mean,
I looked at those.
She went nuts, and it was absolutely awesome. But yeah, some of it just absolutely tickled me to no end.
Oh yeah, I was laughing.
The backpack is still my favorite so far.
Yes, we were laughing so hard when he was telling us. I mean, all this stuff, and we were telling him what about the bears, what about the. I mean, it was so funny. So I am excited, and I can't wait. I hope he's able to do the show live from there on Wednesday, like he plans, because that would be so awesome. That would be so awesome.
It's going to be so fun because can you imagine being in the woods doing a podcast going, hey guys, guess what happened to me today?
He's going to show up. He's going to show up covered in mud. And
You know, it's so funny is that I've been watching the weather and I got the new weather report for the area that we're going to be in. And on Monday, it's supposed to be like 60% coverage of rain. And then the next 3 days is 40%. And I'm like, what did I get myself into? This is going to be so much fun.
Well, the thing that worries me is the fact that he said that you're going to, when you get there, you're going to go ahead and hike into the woods after dark. And I said, well, if he hasn't put the hammock together, I'm worried. I'm really worried for him. I'm like, oh my God.
Well,
some of those things are confusing.
No, it actually isn't. I mean, when you think of hammocks that you normally see at Walmart, what I'm carrying and what he's carrying are not.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the one he has is pretty idiot-proof.
Perfect for me.
Just a little bit heavier than it should be. I mean, it could be a lot lighter.
Yeah.
And I'll show him the differences between mine and his when we're out there. And that way, if he decides to continue, there's tricks and tips to lighten it up. So, but no, I'm not worried about that. I mean, as long as he checks it, as long as he does what I told him to do today, and that is open everything up, make sure everything's there, so that we don't get out there and find out he's missing something.
Yeah, for real.
Because once we're there, there's no running to Walmart. There's no
fast food either.
You know, it's once you're out there, it's put your head between your knees.
Yeah,
and kiss your butt goodbye, basically.
Yeah. That's one of my other fears is like, what if I forget something? And then luckily the weather isn't supposed to be. It's supposed to be a little warmer than I think what Charles likes, but
a lot.
And it's gonna, even for night, the lows I think is supposed to be like 50, 48, something like that. The lows. And that's still warm for Charles. Charles is like, no, I want 20-degree weather. And I'm like, oh my God. No.
Well, he's used to the cold. He'd rather camp out in the cold. Now me, I don't want cold if I were to go camping. I don't want it to be too cold, but I can't stand to be hot. So I don't know. I think I'd rather it be chilly.
Yeah, but it
Nice
feels so
cooling
good to sit
trip.
around the fire with it cold.
Yeah. So I have a question. Are y'all taking bacon and eggs?
No.
Well then, what about coffee? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's taking coffee. I'm taking tea and water, and I'm probably and Charles told me tonight he has take some of those Gatorade packets because
Yeah.
what I'm understanding from this is he has a filtration system. So we're carrying 2 liters of water in.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 liters of water each, and then as we drink it, one bottle we're actually going to go fill it up in a stream or a lake or I don't know what we're filling it up with.
Wow.
And then this bottle goes into this bottle. No, the filter goes on this bottle, and then we squirt that bottle, which is going to be filtered, into the clean bottle, and then we can drink the water from the clean bottle. Oh my Lord, this is going to be so much fun.
That's gonna be pretty awesome. You're gonna be like Grizzly Adam. No, Grizzly
Oh
Adam
yeah,
didn't live off the
and
land.
he said, yeah,
You're gonna be
sometimes
like
water.
what's his name? Bear. What's his last name? Bear.
No, not like Bear Grylls.
Not like Bear. Okay, because I mean he does some crazy stuff. Well, it'll be Paul's version of Bear Grylls. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And it's funny is because Charles has told me some stories, and he's told me from day one. He is not he tells me horror stories, and he said, I'm not lying to you. This is how it's gonna suck, but you have to embrace the suck, and that's the motto.
Oh.
And that's like the motto of the trip for me is embrace the suck.
Yeah.
It sounds so wrong.
But if I showed Paul. I told Paul the story about the last trip up to Guadalupe Peak, and it just kicked my butt. I mean, the first time I did it, I was 8 years younger, 40 pounds lighter. And you get up above 5,000 feet, and it starts just sucking the wind out of you. And you go at Guadalupe Peak, it's 8,700 something feet. I forget.
Wow.
And so you're just sucking wind by the time you get to the top. And we're camping at the top, or close to the top. So you're carrying 20, 30 pounds on top of that.
Yeah.
And so I was baked by the time I got up there. I was done. But I started showing him the pictures we took. And I told him, I said, so the climb up sucked. It absolutely sucked, bar none. There was nothing happy about it. I was worn out. If I'd have been by myself, I would have probably turned around and gone back. But because I was taking our buddy Jim that we work with, I couldn't let him down, and because he got all excited, took off from work to come and help, to come with me, and so we just kept climbing. It took us about 4 hours to get to the campsite, dumped our stuff, and took a break, and then climbed up the rest of the way. But the views you get, the photos that I got, sunrise from 8,000 feet.
Wow.
The next morning, stuff like that makes it all worth it. It doesn't matter how miserable you are when you get the final result, and that final result is enjoying it.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter how miserable you were getting there. And that's the whole reason I do it. I mean, I was telling him a story, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I've only been one time when I really hated it and I was ready to sell everything.
Wow.
And I'm a very modest person, but suffice it to say, I was so mad that I literally took all my clothes off on the side of the road and put on dry, because I was soaking wringing wet, and redressed on the side of the road.
Oh. I
I wouldn't do that in my driveway, much less on the side of a public highway.
Yeah.
But I was that mad and that frustrated that time. So it does get to you sometimes, but for the most part, it's worth every second.
Yeah, and what an amazing accomplishment when you get to that height. I can't even imagine that, because I love the beauty of nature, honestly. I just always think, I love being out in nature, especially areas like that, mountains or lakes or rivers or streams. I think it's so gorgeous because you could just sit there and meditate and just focus in on what's around you, to me, and just focus in on God's word. Honestly, that's the way I feel about it. It's just so peaceful and relaxing. And to be able to reach the top of a place like that what a huge feeling of accomplishment. Even if, I mean, that's a big deal, I think, because I've never done anything like that either. And I think you would feel so proud.
Well, you can. I mean, it's one of those things. You don't have to camp, so you can go up there with just enough water to get up and back. Whenever I do it, it's because I want to wake up there. I don't just want to climb up, spend a couple hours, and come back down. So, but it's actually doable. It's only 4 miles one way. It's a little bit over 3,000 feet elevation change. It's just, as a lowlander, because I mean, I grew up in the Bluff, so I've never lived above 300 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
So when you just get to the parking lot, you can tell a difference, and you start at 5,000 feet.
Wow.
But if you go up there and you just take your time, I mean, if you get up there first thing in the morning and take your time, you can do it in a day. I mean, it was sad because me and Jim had an old guy that was probably 85 or 90 blow by us like we were standing still. It was not fair.
Wow.
It was not. But he was.
What if there, God forbid, what if there's an emergency while you're up there? Are there stations like along the way where you're going? No. I just thought, I don't want to be, negative or more.
No. So, I mean, the good news is, I was in the military. Paul was in the military. We know basic first aid.
Yeah.
So good. unless something major happens, I mean, we can get to a point where, I mean, even when I'm in Oklahoma and Arkansas, you can get to a point where you can get people out. It's not where we're going to be this trip. It's not really, it's rural, but you're never more than 8 miles from a trailhead.
Oh, okay. 8 miles to me is whatever when you're walking, but I understand what you're saying. That's not a lot compared to what it could be, right?
Yeah. Well, in Oklahoma, if I took Paul on his first trip, we would end up in a place called the Kiamichi Valley. And the Kiamichi Valley, you have to go over a mountain or up a mountain to get out of it. Or find somebody who has a 4-wheeler that can get over the 2 rivers and up the old forest road to the head of the valley. Wow. It's not an easy, but when you get there and your cell phone doesn't work real well, but all you can hear is the leaves rustling and the river running beside your campsite, you forget about the fact that you don't have a cell phone working, and
I bet
life is busy.
Nice to get back to nature. I bet. So let me ask you. I've been asking all the questions. Jerry, do you have anything you'd like to ask them, or David? Do either of you have anything? I see David, but I can't tell if his camera's working.
That's where he smiled. He's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You was talking about being in the changing the clothes there on the side of the road. I went camping. I camp out of Jeeps. We drive our Jeeps back trails and go to places like you're hiking to. We were in the mountains of Virginia with my friend Ken Kirby, his wife, and his 2 kids. And it started raining. The bottom fell out of the sky. Everything we owned was soaking wet. And we wound up in this little itty bitty town in Virginia, up in the mountains. And we were we're in this little laundromat, running around in our underwear, drying all our clothes. Everything was dried. And the people driving by had to look through there and go, "What in the world is wrong with those people?"
Oh my gosh!
We're just running around in our underwear, drying all our stuff.
Oh, that's a good story. I bet you people were saying that. What about you, Jerry? Do you have anything you'd like to add or ask? That's funny.
Well, yeah, it's you were talking about embracing the suck. Just realize, never say it can't get worse, because it can always get worse.
Yes,
that is true. I've heard that too. Yeah.
I was
good point, Jerry.
I was in Albania, back when Milosevic was acting up, and we were in Albania. When we got there, it was raining. And it rained for 3 straight days. And we were literally making mud bags, not sandbags, mud bags, because that's what we had, to go around our comm tents, right? And, it was mud. It was nasty. It was a sheep field for who knows how many years. And you could literally see the feces kind of floating on the water. And we're taking these big buckets and we're shoveling it out, because a shovel's not going to do you any good, because it's just, it's just coming off the shovel. Anyway, Ricky Woods, he says, it just can't get any worse than this. And it started hailing. Big rock size balls of hell. And I told him, I said, man, shut. I can't say what I told him.
Yeah, I bet you did.
But shut up. And I never will forget. Here comes Sergeant Major Branch. I love him to death, but he was going, embrace the suck, embrace the suck.
That's funny. That is so funny. Oh my gosh. So we do need T-shirts that say that, Nina. I think you're right on the money there. People will go, what does that mean? And we'll just be like, well, it's our own secret code. We'll have to get some made. Paul's wife. What is it? What is it you called? PBH.
PBH. Paul's better half.
Paul's better half. She is our merchandiser, so maybe we can tell our merchandiser, Miss Better Half, to make us T-shirts that say "Embrace the suck."
Embrace the suck.
Yeah, I don't know what it would have a picture of, but that's a good idea. We can all ship them out to all of us. That could be our little code thing. I want to take a moment real quick to welcome everybody that's listening and watching. We really appreciate you tuning in. We've had a lot of fun tonight. We're talking about Paul, and he's going hiking next week. You're going on Tuesday,
right? Tuesday night.
So Tuesday night. So next Wednesday, good Lord willing, I'm praying. I really am praying for you. He'll be coming to us live from where he's at on the hike. So that's going to be really cool. And of course, we're going to have another musical guest. I'll be advertising for them very soon. Go ahead. I just wanted to welcome everybody and thank them again for coming on. Remember, this is interactive. So if you'd like to type anything in the comments and interact with us, please do. If you have any questions for Paul or for Charles or for David,
I just want
or Jerry
to see if I can make Charles, if I can work this out with Charles. So when we hit that 16-hour mark, somebody might trip or
This is my PayPal account. This is my
yeah, no doubt.
That's hilarious. You know what's so funny? She hadn't even made a prize yet. That is funny though, Jerry. We don't know what it's going to be. Oh my God.
If we get him off the trail, that means that we have to make arrangements for somebody to come and rescue him. And
looks like that'll be PBH making sure.
No, it's actually our buddy Jim's wife is going to be because there's the water situation out there where we're going is kind of sketchy on whether there's good water or not.
Oh yeah, when he said that.
And so we've already made arrangements. If we need water, she's going to bring out a couple of gallons to us so that we don't have to. Because if it's not moving water, I won't drink it. I don't drink out of stagnant ponds. I don't drink I'm not that desperate.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm filtering my water, so I'm not worried about bugs or anything else getting into it. I'm not that thirsty.
Yeah, they say not to drink out of stagnant water because it can make you really sick. That's what I've heard seen on TV.
Well, usually what gets you sick is Giardia or one of the other little bugs like Giardia. And the filter I carry is sufficient to block that out. But there's just something about the taste that I can't get around. And I mean, you can smell them before you get to them. Stagnant water just doesn't smell right.
Ugh.
So, and when you've been out in the woods for 3 or 4 days, you're not wearing any deodorant, you've been sweating and everything else, and you can still smell the pond before you get to it. That speaks volumes about it. So I don't drink stagnant water.
I don't blame you. So Charles, do you have anything planned, like interesting things? I just watch these shows to have Paul eat while he's out there, like maybe a dead possum or something that you find.
No.
What are you doing?
I was just wondering.
It's going to be entertaining enough watching him, just because trail food isn't the same as food you eat at home.
Yeah, he'd tell us about it. I was like, oh, that sounds just. What was it? Freeze-dried shrimp and freeze-dried. What was the other?
No. I was a joke. I was making a joke about freeze-dried shrimp.
Yeah, no. Now he can eat that. And then he can go dig his own hole and deal with the aftermath of it. I won't be there to help.
So are you going to make a campfire everywhere you go? Do you do that, right? Are y'all allowed to make campfires out there?
So water is a commodity.
Okay.
So in order to properly put out a fire, you have to completely cool it to where you can stick your hand in it, not in it quite, but just above it.
Makes sense.
And if it's still warm, you got to add more water. Well, when water's a commodity, fires aren't. Fires are a waste of water. Now, if we were next to a stream or something like that, yeah, absolutely. But if we're just out in the woods, no, I can count the number of times I've actually had a fire on one hand. I mean, I just, to me, it's not worth it because of the fact of having the hassle of putting the fire out. Right. Keeping it lit, keeping it running, and all that, no big deal. Putting it out, and I've been out too many times and come up on campsites where people didn't put the fire out properly.
Yeah.
So we're in a national forest. I don't want to be responsible for burning it down.
Yeah, so it happens a lot, I'm sure.
I just, for me, I would rather just, I mean, the only time I've ever wanted one was I had to get off the trail one time. My youngest granddaughter had been born, and I didn't want to hike anymore. I just wanted to go see my granddaughter. So we were waiting for somebody to come and pick us up off the trail, and so we lit a fire because it was like 25. Jeez. And standing, walking through 25 is no big deal. Standing still waiting for somebody to come and get you in 25 is miserable. And so we could, but I mean, I've been out into the teens, no problem. I love it.
Well, I always think of a fire as means of protection from the animals, honestly, like because the animals, when we were kids, we would go camping a lot. We would always sleep in the car mostly. My dad would sleep on the ground by the fire. So that's what I always relate to camping. But this is not it's camping, but it's actually classified different because it's hiking, and it depends on where you are. Wow, that's going to be interesting, Paul. So no fire, no campfire. I'm like, God, really
it's worried. Funny because I'm like, if there's no fire, how do you cook your food, right? That's what I was like, okay. Yes. And he's like, oh no, you get this little can and you put.
I was looking for it. I don't have it in here. I was going to show you my fancy feast stuff.
It's a fancy feast can.
Let me go grab it. I'll be right back.
Okay, I want to see this.
He was describing it. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's a little fancy feast can with like paper towels that rolled up inside of it, and then you dump isopropyl alcohol,
like rubbing alcohol, isopropyl.
Yeah, there you go, isopropyl. Anyway, you pour it in there, and then, of course it soaks up. And then you light it on fire, and it has a clean burn, and it boils your water. And then you can take your freeze-dried food and put it in the water, and that's how you cook your food to make it warm.
Wow!
And I'm like, okay. So then I was at Walmart today, and I was on the phone with Charles, and I'm like, hey, I see this Sterno, whatever it is. It's like 2 cans of it. And he's like, nah, that's too heavy. Don't carry that. I have my own fancy feast can. I'm like, fancy feast can?
Literally. I got to see this. This is interesting. So this is what he's going to use to cook.
I have to dig it out, so hold on.
Oh, okay.
He has everything packed. You know what? I found out that he does.
Oh, sorry.
It's so funny. He said, yeah, I pack my stuff, and then I unpack it, and then I repack it. And then I unpack it and I'm like, oh my Lord.
But see, the reason being, for one, I'm getting used to where everything is in my pack. Because in the dark, I don't want to have to turn my headlamp on every time I want to look for something. For two, it helps me to remember not only what I have, but what I need to grab that I haven't gotten. And three, it just kind of keeps me comfortable with what I have. So it's all about redundancy and just repetitive. In the military, they teach you to do something over and over and over again. And that's the way I've always been. So, but this, I'm going to try and show you this. I don't know how well that'll come through. That is my stove. It's literally a fancy feast can.
Okay. With metal.
It's literally a fancy feast, just a regular fancy feast cat food can, and then they put an extra piece of stainless in it right here.
Okay.
And then it has I don't know if this is fiberglass wick, but there's a wick that they shove down in between, and you pour an ounce of alcohol into it, and it'll boil water.
Yeah, wow. But how big is your little?
That's crazy.
I'm gonna ask something silly. You said it'll boil water. Now I'm picturing water. That's what I'm saying. How big is your cup? Oh,
That is 16 ounces.
so it'll boil that.
Yep.
Wow. So
And
are
that's
you?
crazy.
I'm all about the coffee. Charles. What kind of coffee do you take? Is it ground? When you're boiling your water, is it instant?
No, normally I just take instant because it's
Yeah.
easier than trying to do cowboy coffee because you still have to carry the grounds out.
Yeah.
Oh
wow.
So part of backpacking is leave no trace. So you literally carry anything you carry in, you carry out. Trash, tea bags, coffee grounds, all that stuff.
So you don't want to. You want to avoid that as much as possible.
You only leave one item behind.
And that's
footprints.
Yeah. Your footprints. I wasn't. No, I don't think you mean that literally, do you?
That's it.
Okay, so I have to ask it because everybody else is thinking it. So you leave no item behind. So the shovel that you use to dig the hole for when you take care of the business, you can bury that, right? You don't have to carry that out with you, do you?
No,
in some places you do.
Thank God, I was like, that would be disgusting.
Now, I say that. So they just changed the rules at Guadalupe National Park. You have to carry a bag, and I can't remember the what they call the bag, but you have to carry a bag with you before you can go into the back country. And any solid material that's left behind can't be left behind. You have to carry it out.
Wow.
And I looked at my buddy and I was like, dude, I'm not.
So I can't help but say, you know how I got to do it. I'm sorry, y'all. You know how they have the pooper scoopers for the dogs? For the people. We need a scooper. Wait,
this bag.
Yeah, it's called a snow shovel.
This bag has a hole in it this big.
Whoa.
That you're supposed to back up to, and no.
That's hilarious. No.
We're going to poop in a bag. We're going to poop in a bag.
You'd have to have really good aim. So, one of our guests, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Ni Young said she loves coffee, but nothing add in it, just original taste and also good. Me too, but I don't know. Sometimes the coffee can cause other things. You know what I mean?
And I told Charles I don't drink coffee. I said, but I drink cappuccino, and he's like, oh, it's all the same stuff, and I'm like, ooh, thought process. I'm gonna bring some cappuccino in a bag.
I don't understand. I don't drink coffee, but I drink cappuccino. It's the same thing.
It is. It's got caffeine just like that.
That's like saying I don't drink tea, but I drink iced tea.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Is that one of those Beagle things?
I guess.
Y'all just can't equate.
See, when I say coffee, everyone immediately knows I'm talking about the coffee in a pot that you brew, the typical coffee pot. I'm not the typical the normal coffee drinker.
You want fancy coffee with all the
no.
Yeah. So David,
not typical.
Leaning in. Are you okay? David, do you drink coffee?
Yes. No, I do not. Got time for a real quick story about coffee? So
let me put this on the screen while you're doing that.
I transferred to the Navy Public Affairs Center, and they said, okay, you stand duty driver, you stand it for a week, you have to go pick up people from the airport, blah, 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 and you have to make the coffee every morning when you come in. And I said, but I don't drink coffee. They said, well, that's part of your duties and responsibilities is you have to make coffee. I said, coffee is not a necessity. They looked at me like I was crazy, but I said, coffee is a luxury. I drink tea. I don't expect you people to make me tea every morning. They said, no, you got to make the coffee. Now, here's how you do it. You put 2 scoops in, you put the thing in, you pour the water, you push the button. That was Monday that they showed me how to make the coffee. So Tuesday it comes in. I filled the filter all the way up to the top and put the water in, push the button. They came in and they were like, oh, God, this coffee is nasty. Who made the coffee? I said, I do. So they said, well, you did something wrong. Here, look. Oh, man, no, you put way too much in there. Here's how you do it. You put 2 scoops in, you put the filter in, you pour the water in, and push the button. I said, okay. So that was Tuesday. So then Wednesday comes along. I barely filled the bottom of the filter up. Oh, God, this coffee is nasty. Who made the coffee? I said, I did. Well, you did something. Oh, man, you didn't put enough in. Here's how. So then
the next day I came in, I put 1 scoop in, and then I put like a little bit of salt and some pepper, some Tabasco, so whatever condiments were laying around in there. And then I put another scoop over there to cover that up. And I put it in there, and they come in and they're like, "Oh God, the coffee is nasty. Who made the coffee?" I said, "I did." And they're like, "Well, it looks like you put enough. I don't know what you did wrong." About that time, the commander looked at me. She said, "Petty Officer Dukes, don't ever touch the coffee maker again as long as you're here." I said, "Yeah."
Smart. That's the way to do it, David. That is the way to do it. So I saw Jerry drinking coffee. I'm become addicted to coffee. My mom was a coffee drinker. I guess that's what you were drinking. I'm assuming because you had a coffee cup. But now I'm drinking it all day usually. So I got my cup and I'm just drinking coffee. So that was my first thing when I went down the beach with my kids. Recently last year, I said, "Can I have my coffee?" And I'll be darned, I told her I'm gonna have my coffee. So we figured it out. I bought one of those percolator, or I already had it, one of those coffee pots. So it's going to be really interesting to see you down the beach. Listen to me. To see you out in the woods, Paul. So this area that y'all are going to is it's mountainous. It's got a lot of mountains. It's real high.
No, we're just going to be in the hill country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no mountains this time.
But you have been in mountains. Okay. I'm getting.
Yeah, no, I typically this time of year you will find me between a little town called Tallahena, Oklahoma, and Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
There's a 200 and some odd mile trail that runs between the two, and I usually just go up there and either lollygag or do a section of the trail.
Wow.
So,
well, I wish y'all the best. That's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. I think Paul's going to make it longer than anybody thought. What is your vote, David? Would you like to enter your vote on how many hours you think he'll make it?
I think he'll go the distance. I think he's tougher than he looks.
Yeah, I think so, David. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, didn't I, Paul?
Although I will have to say this: if you kind of like the
Yes,
whole
you did.
vibe, but you just don't like the way you're doing it, you should switch to camping like I do. I take lawn chairs and cooler. And,
Me too.
Food.
That's not camping. That's glamping.
I know.
And everything and pancakes. We do it right, man. In the Jeep, and we go to the same places.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. I said, "Are you going to have bacon and eggs?" Because when I think camping from being a kid, my mom was always making bacon on the campfire. Always. And that's always. We talk about that because we went camping with Paul and Crystal in a little cabin before, and it was fun. And we had our bacon and eggs. I said, "We got to have bacon and eggs. We got it. It's the law, and we got to have our coffee."
Look, I don't want anybody to think I'm a wimp.
Jerry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't want anybody to think I'm a wimp, but I spent 30 years in the military, and I have sworn I will never sleep on the ground or in a cot again, ever.
I bet.
Well,
at least a blow-up
That
mattress,
Jerry, that's why you come with me. I'll put you in a nice, comfy hammock.
There you go. Yeah, I'm with you, Jerry. I had to have a blow-up mattress, and when we went down the beach that one night, I thought, "Oh, this will be great." Paul knows I bought a 3-room tent, thinking because they didn't have any cabins. Oh God, it was a nightmare to set it up, but at least we slept okay. But it was a pain to set it up, and I thought, well, and then you know what? I haven't used that tent since, and I probably never will again. And I had the queen size air mattress. I'm so spoiled.
Yeah, get up off the ground. Get up in a hammock.
That's okay.
There you go.
Somebody on here got an air conditioner for when he goes camping.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I got one too. But dumb me, I did not know. I didn't even think about it. We literally took our window unit, but then we realized we plugged it in. My daughter had a generator, and all the air went out the top because it was open. It didn't do good at all. But Paul was smart. Paul's little tent was closed. Oh, I was so funny. My son, he tried to fix it because I was like complaining because I was burning up.
That's why you go in the winter.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. If I ever camp again, that's what I'll do. Oh my gosh. So you got anything else to add to the camping? I mean, it's not technically camp. Excuse me, it's hiking. So anybody on here that's listening, y'all want to comment about the hiking trip that Paul's going on? I'm really excited. Oh yeah, Kimmy said bring a fan. Yes, Kimmy. Bring a fan. I'm with you on that, girl. I had a fan. Where's my finger? I had a coffee. I had everything.
Air conditioner.
I had a big tote full of stuff. I sure did. And I had one of those Coleman stoves with the, Man, we were set up, but I didn't like it because the sand got into everything on the beach.
We're at on the beach. Where'd you go?
We went down Padre Island National Seashore. Well, you lived in the Bluff, so you know exactly way down there. But I
was down at Port A this past weekend. So
yeah, well, my ex-husband's family, we ran Bob Hall Pier and Horace Caldwell Pier for 15, no, actually longer than that. So that's all we ever did for years was on the pier, at the beach. So my daughter is an avid fisherman. She loves to fish. She's really good at it. So is my son. I think my daughter is more so than my son because she's just that's what she wants to do, and she goes out there and really goes fishing. You know what I mean? For the big stuff.
Yeah.
So tarpon and shark, and she even got a kayak, and she swims the baits out. And I'm always like, oh my God, like way out there. So, but they like going way down. They would have gone further, but I kept saying, you are too far. I don't like having no cell reception. I always think, because she had her 4-year-old. I know I'm a big chicken. I just kept thinking, what if something happened? And she's like, Mom, nothing's going to happen. So
that's not part of the anxiety I was telling you about that I have.
Yeah, but I didn't have any cell service. Yeah.
Well, but the Rangers make patrols daily, so you just got to wait.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and then
24 hours.
Yeah, when we were closing up the tent, it was a catastrophe because we closed up the tent, and I can't hardly function without my phone. I've got to have my phone, and I was driving back with my son. Brett did not go with us, and I'm looking everywhere for my phone, and it's hooked up to the Bluetooth in my car. We're in my car. So I know that it's in the car, and I figure it must be under the seat. Well, my son is getting frustrated because I'm getting really anxious trying to find my phone. I'm looking everywhere in the car while he's driving down the beach because we're way down there. I had no service, but it was still hooked up to the Bluetooth. And he's like, Mom, chill out. It's in the car. It's in the car. So we get right outside of National Seashore, and I'm still freaking out because I don't really hear it ringing, but I know it's connected because it says it's connected. It took forever. So finally we pull over right outside when I first got signal. My son's so frustrated at me. And he's looking through the whole car and he's calling it, trying to hear it. Oh my God, it was hilarious, but terrible. He's trying to hear it. And he's like, he starts cussing. He starts taking stuff out of the car. And I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, Mom, I swear to God. And he starts taking everything out of the car. And I'm like, what? So he's listening. I had put my phone in the pocket of the tent, inside the tent. It was all rolled up in the bag, in the car, this huge 3-bedroom tent. So he's like, you got to be kidding me. He was so mad. So we get home. It was a terrible, funny story. We get home and I have to have my phone. I'm like, my life is on my phone. So my poor husband, because I had to come back to Beeville. It's an hour away. I get home and I'm like, Brett, I got some bad news. My phone is in the tent. And he's like, what? So he had to and it's a big tent. It's huge. I don't know how to find it once it's rolled up. I think it's in there somewhere. But he's like, are you kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? He was so mad. He had to take the whole bag apart, the whole tent apart. We had to lay it out on the lawn, and it's huge. And I was feeling around on the outside. I'm like, I found it. It was terrible. So I zipped my phone up in the tent. So I learned a valuable lesson. If you're going to use your phone while you're camping, make sure you take it out of the pocket of the tent before.
Well, at least you didn't find it sit in your pocket 2 hours later or something.
Yeah, no, I've done that. I've done stuff like that. Like one time I was looking for my sunglasses. My kids were in the back seat. They were a lot younger. And my husband, Brett, was driving, and I was in the passenger seat, and I'm looking everywhere for my sunglasses because my eyes are real sensitive to the bright light. And I'm like, where? And he's like, what are you looking for? Where are they? And my kids were laughing, and I'm like, what are you laughing about? It's not funny. What did y'all do with them? I thought they were messing with me. And Brett's laughing. He's like, are you serious? And my son's like, Mom, I said, stop it. Give me my glasses. Give me my sunglasses. And they just keep making me freak out. And Brett finally looks at me and goes, you are serious, right? And I'm like, yes. What did you do? This ain't funny. My eyes are killing me. He goes, they're on your head.
Yeah, my mom used to do that. I can't find my glasses.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's funny. I know. And you do it all the time. And oh my God, he tells that story all the time. Remember that time? I really thought they hit him and they were messing because they kept laughing. Yeah. Oh my God.
I took my wife and my dog. We went out up to the lake on a picnic. I grilled out some hot dogs. It was late in the evening. We was having a good time down there by the lake and everything. And we got ready to leave, and the sun was starting going down a little bit. And so I get in the truck and I crank the truck up, and I turned the lights on, and I noticed that the lights weren't very bright on the dash.
Uh-oh.
And I thought, oh man, alternator's going out. We better get out of here because their alternator only put juice in there for so long. It'll run off the battery for so long till the truck dies. I had the headlights on; they weren't very bright. They were kind of dark, and I'm yelling at my wife. I'm like, "Get the dog, get in the truck, let's go. We got to get, we got to leave." She's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I said, "I think there's something wrong with the truck. The alternator's not charging." And so I'm flying down this trail. We're bouncing around and thing. We get back out to the gravel road, and I'm taking off down the gravel road, like Jeff Gordon on a road course, sliding around the corners and everything. And we get up to the main highway, and I looked left and I looked right, and my wife says, "You do realize you're wearing your sunglasses, right?" I said, "Put my clear glasses on." "Oh, yeah, okay. Everything's fixed now."
I'm so glad I'm not the only one that does stuff like that.
Yeah.
Paul, didn't you say, because y'all bought the same tent as I did, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, we have a 3-bedroom tent.
Kids, what happened with what happened? Somebody locked some in there, put some in your tent and left it in there too, right? What was it?
Glasses. They put the glasses in that little pocket, the same pocket you put your cell phone in.
Because it was payback. Because the night before, the one night we spent the night on the beach, my son was in the other little area, the little room. And I was like, "Does your little room have a little pocket?" And he's like, "No, Mom," because he was getting tired of me talking. I'm like, "Well, my room has a pocket." And I was great. He's like, "That's great, Mom. Thanks a lot. I'm going to sleep now." I told him I jinxed myself by bragging about my pocket, and then I left my phone in there. He was so mad. He really was mad. Because he said, "I swear to God, Mom," because he grabbed the tent, and it's heavy. And he says, "I'm pull over." He pulls over. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I swear to God, Mom." And he picks the tent up from the back of the car and he starts walking down the road. I'm like, "Where are you going?" He said, "If that phone cuts off, that means that's how he found out. That means if the Bluetooth disconnects after I walk away, that means your phone is in this tent. I swear to God, Mom, that phone." And I'm laughing when he's done. I'm like, "Oops, I'm so sorry." He said,
"It's funny. I know what Charles is thinking right now too. He's like, if you had a hammock, you wouldn't have to worry about that."
Exactly.
No, you can still forget stuff.
Oh yeah, I know.
Jerry, I'm sorry. Jerry's got a little bit of a headache. Are you okay, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's past my
we're about
time for medicine.
Oh,
so.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay. We're about to, unfortunately, call it quits for the night because it's already 10:32. Man, I've had a lot of fun. I wish we had more time just to hang out and talk.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to get together and go camping on the beach sometime.
That would be great, for real. Well, because Charles, you live in Flower Bluff, and you get in the truck sometimes. Oh, you don't anymore, right?
I live near Abilene.
Oh, okay. Well, you can maybe make
down there a couple of weeks ago.
We could all meet in a place and go. That would be a blast. It really would be a blast.
It would have to be in the winter.
Yeah.
I don't do anything when it's warm out.
Yeah,
I don't either.
Yes.
I grew up without air conditioning, and I got it as quick as I could, and I don't get out of it until winter.
Wow.
So
let me see what it says here. I sleep with a fan on no matter how cold or hot it is. That's what Kimmy said. Fan and coffee. Yes, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sweetie, and I don't want to mispronounce it. Neong, maybe? Thank you for that comment. Kimmy says, and then she replied to Kimmy, "Add some ice to the cooler." Yeah. I know, we are so spoiled. She said, "Maybe the sound same in the womb, so make people sleep." Maybe so.
Okay.
I don't know. That was it.
So I had to leave the audio booth real fast because I heard a loud boom, and I'm like, "What's that noise?" I go out there, and they're like, "Oh, the wind's really blowing on the deck, and I think your catio fell apart." Like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, tell them real quick. I know Crystal said they're working on it. They're building a catio, which is a patio for the cats.
Yes.
They can go right.
On the
Am
deck.
I right?
Yes.
They can go out the window into this catio.
Yes. I know. I have nothing else better to do. I'm only trying to finish my third novel. Yeah.
So hurry up, Paul. You need to build your catio, finish your novel, go on your hiking trip, take care of the kids. Don't forget to come on the radio show and the podcast and this live show.
And prepare for the hiking trip. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've had a lot of fun tonight. David, you had some excellent songs. We appreciate you coming on with us. Coming on. If you would like, I want to let you know I would be happy to play your song for you on the radio on Monday, Carolyn's Corner, if you'd like me to do that. I would love to do that. I mean, if you have, that's the only one you have recorded, so I'll just play that one, I guess. Unless you have another one
recorded. The case of coronavirus and the Hurts Like Hell.
Okay, you send me the case of coronavirus, please, to my email.
Okay.
Because I'll need to download it as an MP3, not a video, but an MP3, okay? And in the meantime, Charles, please take care of Paul for us. Y'all be careful out there.
We get out there, he's on his own.
I know. But we're super excited. I mean, just don't let him get eaten by any wild animals. That's what I'm worried about.
Now, we are more concerned about people from Houston coming to eat us than any wild animal.
You know what? That's probably right. And Jerry, good luck with all of your... Jerry's been working hard. He's been co-writing, and I don't know what all you're doing. What all you've been doing? Tell me some of it again.
I had a wonderful co-write with Alicia yesterday. What is today? Wednesday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah. And it both of us have a military background, and we just kind of went toward April is the month of the military child, and we just kind of, the song just flowed together really, really nice. It just came real quick. I just need to tweak the music a little bit, and I've got a couple of more co-write. I've been having quite a few people request to do co-writes with me, which is interesting.
That's great.
Especially doing it over the internet. It's a whole different. I'm used to a bunch of guys with guitars sitting around with a few beers and pad and paper.
Yes. Well, that's what, when we first started messaging back and forth, that's what you said it felt like. And it did to me too. It felt like we were just hanging out outside on a porch or in a campfire, just song swapping. I love it.
Yeah. And I had to do recordings today and do some mixing. I hate mixing. I hate it with passion, but it's one of those necessary evils unless you're going to pay a bunch of money to get somebody else's.
Embrace the exactly. Right. Hey, at least you have the ability to do it. I've tried to do mine, and I'm just not. I mean, I can hear it, but sometimes it's just technical things like. I got that little delay, and it's just very frustrating. I can't figure out how to get rid of it. One of these days, I'll get you to help me with it because I know that it's something simple. It's just it told me how, but they might as well have been speaking completely another language because I didn't understand it at all. I go here and do this and do that. I was like, oh, geez, forget it. I'm just going to leave the little delay.
Hey, you know what? YouTube has everything.
I know.
You go on and whatever your DAW is, you go in there and say, how do I get rid of the delay in with this DAW? And it'll cut. You'll have 15 different videos. Where people.
Yeah, I just need to sit down and take the time to really focus. I need Brett to help me with it really because I get frustrated when it's little tiny things. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like I need to do one step at a time.
Cherise sent us that workshop too, by the way.
Oh yes. So tomorrow, awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. Tomorrow I have I'm so excited about my Zoom call with Cherise. I need to download Zoom still. And I got a little bit of homework to do before we do that. So I'm excited about that, Jerry. I really, really am. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what the outcome is because basically we're going to tear that song apart and rebuild it. So
I can't wait for it to be torn apart and put back together. It's awesome.
I'm excited. I really am. It's like your children. It's just like your children. Let's just rebuild them. It's kind of weird. It's kind of almost.
I really wish sometimes I could tear my kids apart and put them back together how I want them. But
I know, Ryan. How would you do it if you could do it over? And Charles, I wish you the best of luck, sir. I'm so thrilled that you came on the show with us tonight. We really enjoyed having you. I wish we could have got around to you sooner, but we had a great time. We had a lot of great guests. David, you were amazing, David.
Thank you.
Charles, thank you, man. You made me laugh, and you gave us some really insightful information about hiking. Makes me want to go and then not want to go at the same time.
I'll try to get some videos, some of the funner points, and I'll send it to you.
That would be great. Kimmy's blowing kisses to all of us. Oh, it won't let me show a picture on the screen. But Kimmy is blowing kisses. Sarah, Kimmy, who else do we have on here? Everyone that's interacted tonight and joined us, please know that we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. And make sure you like, comment, and share. Our goal this week for you just so you'll know, David, is to beat the views that we had from the first show. Okay.
Yes.
So each week we're going to try to get better and better. So the only way we can do that is if everyone shares. It's so important. We want to grow. We want to help you amazing artists, all of you guys, with whatever you're passionate about to help spread that word, and the more people here to hear it, the better you are. And
definitely.
Yes.
We want to pull you from the shadows and put some sunlight on you.
Yeah. Because you go a lot of people, a lot of us, majority of us go through life without having any light at all. You know what I mean? On something that we really are passionate about. So it's cool to be able to bring you to the forefront a little bit at least and get you some views, and people are going back and watching our videos. And I know when they do, they're going to say, wow, that's a cool song. Though that was a cool song. Oh, I like that one. That one's cool. You know what I mean? So I will be playing your song, those two. So send me the MP3s to both of them. I think I have
I'll send the other one. And my goal this week is to get up in the morning and remember where I put my socks the night before.
That's a pretty good goal. David.
Lofty goals, but
yes,
start somewhere.
Absolutely. So our show on the radio starts at 7:30 on Monday. Okay, so make sure you tune in. Okay, so I can introduce you again to our radio crowd. A lot of the people that are here are also there. We're very blessed. We have some really awesome people that stick with us. Kimmy's one of them. Sarah's one of them. Edgar's one of them. Donovan, we have several of them. So I'm very grateful for everyone that's tuned in tonight. And again, Jerry, Charles, and Paul, y'all did an awesome job. You made me laugh a lot. I love laughter. And the song by Tim, that was a beautiful song. I just love it. And don't forget, you can go download that as well. It's called Love Will Win. So I know you're going to want to go download that. And don't forget to check out David's song. It's under David Key. I don't know why I keep saying K. I'm sorry. David Key. Sorry. I keep saying K for some reason. You can go on any music, like YouTube's, iTunes. They're all over the place. And go download his songs, okay? And help him out too. Miss Sarah, you have a beautiful night, baby. I'm glad everything went good today. I'm glad you're doing better. I knew you'd be okay. I had a really good feeling about it. Jerry, you take care of yourself and quit working so hard and making me tired.
All right.
Good night,
All right,
guys.
I'll see y'all as soon as I can. And good night. God bless you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for tuning in to
Carolyn.
Corner Live.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome. Y'all appreciate it.
Bye, guys. I'll see you later. Take
Bye,
care.
Charles. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.